Hello.
Welcome back
to From Under the Bed.
From Under the Bed. Guys, I'm Stevie.
And I'm Sarah. Yay.
And we are your spooky podcast.
Spooky, scary. Spoopy.
Scary. Yeah.
Dare we say.
It's more spoopy because we will cover things that aren't necessarily spooky.
True.
No, they'll be more spooky, but not always horror.
More
and
like...
Also, if you hear my cats...
Oh, yeah.
They're having their zoomies.
It's not
right
something
now.
Going bump in the night. It's literally just the cats.
Yeah, you might see
going
something.
Bump. Mm-hmm. They're like, anyway. They're like at it.
They're having their zoomie hour right now.
I love it. I love it. But we are on our second parter.
Yes.
Of Decom Night.
Decom Night. We're wearing our PJs.
Yeah, the cat's pajamas.
She's wearing cat's pajamas.
I didn't even
that's
talk
me.
about
that. Cat
Yeah.
looks like
it
what
does.
Except that one's got
Look at this one.
sheeps.
Oh my gosh, it does.
Sheeps.
There's probably one on here that's like you though. Honestly, this one's wearing polar bear.
That one too.
Right? He's got something. We didn't even call attention to this. I was like, it's the cat's pajamas.
I know. I just said
Stevie
that I was
is
wearing...
the teddy bear.
I'm the teddy bear. Wait, let's
the
do
cold.
it.
I literally was like the cold one, but he looks all snuggly and stuff.
Yeah.
Decom Night, because one, we've covered we're covering two classics. If you saw or listened to and saw our previous episode, it was on Don't Look Under the Bed, which is literally the best, and then also just like literally where the name of our podcast like semi originated from in a way in the soul,
Yeah.
This one. What are we covering today, Stevie?
Today we're covering Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, which was another one of my faves, obviously.
It was one of those that genuinely like I didn't mention this last time, but it's like I feel like there's some decoms where you were just like, yes, this is a made for TV movie, but I felt like it was
a film.
Yes, like it was from a different level. It was honestly, again, we were talking about how if it wasn't on Disney Channel anymore, could they have put it to like on ABC Family or something for like more mature audiences if they felt it was too scary or whatever. These films literally feel like they could have been an ABC Family like era kind of thing where it's just like it's good enough for the whole family, but also it's like a little bit mature. So if some people like it's just felt like a real film. They are all real films, but
they are. But I know what you mean. Where you're just like, okay, this stands on its own, it does. And it's great. And it's one of those. Okay, I do want to say about these is that it's not one of those that like I don't feel like you had to be there or nostalgia colors it, because I feel like you can watch it now and be like, that was really good.
It's still really good. Like it feels of its era in some parts, obviously. And then
but it holds up.
But it doesn't feel like this was a ridiculous, like, I don't know. It's so like you can obviously like the name in itself, the instructions are in the chant. Like the name itself obviously gives to like a more kid, like this one, especially the name, like, I mean, I guess Don't Look Under the Bed could also they're like kids movies, but they don't feel like that kind of humor that you're like it's really, just it's like so good, and it's geared towards a child audience, obviously. But this one, even just the name itself is just so good. It reminded me of the Bailey School Kids, the ones like, vampires don't
like
wear
ghouls scoop ice cream.
Yeah, it was like ghouls don't scoop ice cream, or vampires don't wear polka dots, was like the first one. Loved those books.
Me too.
I always loved Eddie, the redhead character. You know how it is. I think we've talked about this before on the podcast. It's fine. Anyway, this one though, we've probably mentioned it if we've mentioned Don't Look Under the Bed. No, Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, sorry. Like both, honestly, where it's like, but the vampire one specifically, it just, the name itself sounds like it's even though that's not even the style of those book names, like it's usually blah, 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 don't, but it just sounds like
but
Mom's
any
Got a Date
of
with a
those
Vampire.
types of books did have titles like that.
But it's like that one specifically was always like,
not those, but like
but other ones,
chapter books at that time.
Like the kind where just like it's like enough to catch a kid's attention. So it'd be kind of like Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire, and like I could see the cover being like everyone being like, oh,
it's like a Goosebumps thing or something. Basically.
Truly though, so I'm like, I feel like they kind of were inspired by that with this one's title, because it just is like it just comes at you, and you're just instantly. If I heard that now without ever having watching this, I would be like, what a fun name. That's it. It's so good. And then it immediately, every time Stevie and I are like, my date with the president's daughter. Oh yeah, my date with her.
Which is another classic, which doesn't qualify to be watched on this pod, but
nothing
like,
to do with this movie either. Just the same.
No,
just the word
just
date.
A vibe. Date.
Just the word date, and it's a
My
decom.
Date with the President's Daughter.
Wilfredell,
Mom's got a date with a vampire.
which
Wilfredell.
Eric Matthews is there.
Yeah.
Pink dresses, iconic. Everything's.
I loved that movie too.
You see, Demon Slayer. Sorry, I'm like, hey, look, beautiful.
The Netflix
logo
is like in the background, and we're like, hello.
It's a nice scenic little moment. You know what I'm saying? Everything is just having it back there. But yeah, just decoms in general. We're gonna do any other decoms also. I'm sure that are like spooky, scary, or on that scale. It'd be kind of fun to watch the newer ones too to compare.
The ones that we haven't really seen.
Like, what about the
much.
zombie one? What is it? The zombie
High?
Yeah, is it zombie? Well, I don't know if it's Zombie High.
Zombie High is the dolls.
Yeah, the zombie.
But
no, that's Monster High.
That's Monster High, and then there's iZombie, which is
that's
the regular
another show. Yeah, but then there's a decom where it's like the cheerleaders versus the zombies.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's like something.
I don't know why I thought it was.
It's literally probably
Zombie
called
High
Zombies versus
versus cheerleaders.
Or maybe it is Zombie High and Monster High is different. Like the Monster High.
Also, the Monster High dolls were so cute, and I was older at that point, but I wish that that they were around.
Still could, but I love seeing people do the makeup thing, like when they would do it on TikTok. So good.
People cosplay them, and they're so cute.
And then just to that song that they're like walking through the hallway or something, talking about going to school like as a monster.
I don't even know if I know the song.
And it was like Monster High, dun dun dun, and it's like so good. But anyway, we need to watch the decoms now just to like, and there's so many that when we were older too, like in middle school or like late elementary school, that definitely came out. Like, I mean, obviously you've got Halloween Town and all the other stuff too. So there's always been ongoing spooky decoms. But a classic starring Mr. Sheffield, like
Mr. Sheffield.
Mr. Sheffield.
If you haven't seen The Nanny,
Mr. Sheffield,
go see it.
I'm trying to remember what came first for me. I don't know if I saw this first and then
I feel like they were happening at the same time.
I know. I feel like at the same time I could have easily both been like, "There's Mr.
Isn't
Sheffield."
That Mr. Sheffield?
Yeah, and
maybe
then watching
Nanny then
Mr. Sheffield,
or maybe at the same time.
But then I feel like I was watching The Nanny, and then I was like, "There's the vampire."
He's a vampire. Watch out!
Right, like truly, I'm like, why do I feel like
not
both
the
were at
same like personality
at all?
Almost like if he was his actual the self that he was trying to portray.
That's such a good point. That's such a good point. Like he was still so proper and like such a like some guy that would really show you a good time, like on a date, being like, "Let me just take you out." Although, as we noticed, he didn't like to have like a fun time, but he wanted to like treat her, which honestly I could go for that.
He's
too.
Like more of a like wine and dine,
but
like let's do certain things, and then she's like, let's go too. Yeah, dancing and stuff.
I liked her vibe, but I also would love on like an anniversary day. It'd be cool if it was like, let's go to the finest restaurant.
He wanted to be more romantic in a different
way,
which
didn't really work with the first date. Like, a first date didn't work.
Yeah, no.
For her, like I feel like his date is cool, but not when it's like a first date. I would be like, this is too much. Bye. Yeah. Or like, you can buy me all this, but I'm never talking to you again. Bye.
I don't know you.
I don't know you. Good day.
Which is what she said. She's literally like,
yeah. The end. I love it. They have like a fun day. She does, and then at the end, she's just like, I don't think we want the same things, but this was fun.
Yeah.
And he's just like, anyway.
He's like, what do you mean you're not in love with me?
I love that because I think it's funny because like him as an actor, like clearly as Mr. Sheffield and all that stuff, like he's obviously like a desirable looking man, like by conventional standards. But it's funny because I wouldn't have thought that as a kid though either. Like I feel like I just thought, oh, it's like, I love Mr. Sheffield, I love you, blah, blah.
I used to always think that he was, but he seemed like a dad
to me. Like he just seemed like the lead, like the father of the house from The Nanny, that it just never felt like I was like, oh, he's vroom, vroom, vroom. Like, like he's a good looking man.
I think I had like a crush on him, but not. But it was harder for me to have crushes on like adult men until like when I was like 11, and I was like, wait.
And then you're like, wait.
And not real people, but like celebrities.
He also looked like, and I don't mean this badly at all, he looked older. Like he looked like he was actually, he was like probably in his late, like.
Yeah, he was like older than I feel like usually.
Right, like I feel like at that age, like they would have done, especially with how young those kids are. People, yeah, I feel like we would have seen him in his like late 30s, which maybe he was, and he just has a face that I thought could pass as like 45 and up or something.
But yeah, I think I had a crush on him like when I was, it's like salt and pepper-ish too. I think more so. You started
to grow a crush on him after.
Or no, like I think at the beginning, I think when I saw him, I always thought, oh, he's so cute. But I wasn't like, oh my God. But I did, like I did have a crush on him. Like I always and just I think maybe that's what it was. That I was like I love him, and
this guy.
He's so like he is attractive, but I was like,
and he was so fun. I know
in elementary school.
But here's the thing,
but it doesn't matter. Because
even though I was embarrassed to say when I liked something, I always found, and we don't have to get into this, like, into the details of like what attraction is, but like I always was like had crushes.
Yeah,
like
that's
I
why
always had fixations on like finding someone like either attractive, whatever that meant, as like a 5-year-old being like, I like this other boy that's 5, and like just. It's just funny because then, like you said, the way it translates over to like seeing an adult man and recognizing that's a handsome man. Like, when do we start to feel? I mean, because obviously we weren't like adults by the time we started to feel comfortable.
No.
But it's just so interesting. But I don't know. I think genuinely though, he was just a likable actor.
I just always liked him a lot, and I was like, oh my god, it's him,
right?
And also talking about crushes when you're little too, and not knowing like, oh, what's attraction, or why do I like just like being around this person, or this person's cool, or like why am I obsessed with this person? And that's why when I look back at like when I had crushes on women, I'm like, oh my god,
you're like, that's what this was. Yeah,
like
yeah.
I didn't realize it then, and
that's
now
what
I'm
it
like,
was. You're like, this was more than a friendship. But yeah,
and I didn't realize that I liked women until I was like in college, and then I was like, wait a minute.
Like
now that looking back,
she looks back at every single one. And you're like, wait a minute. Connecting the dots here.
This all makes sense.
You're not connected. I connected them.
I connected them. You didn't connect shit.
I didn't connect shit. But yeah, that he's just, I don't know. But he obviously is like the center of what this movie like revolves around, like in terms of like marketability, like just everything about it. It's just like he's the vampire in question, and he's just is so good. I love it. I love it.
And we have the aunt from Aunt Hilda from Sabrina.
Aunt Hilda, which again, I feel like she's just Hilda in this too. Like the way she talks always feels like not the same, but I feel like she's just got such a recognizable
she like acts
voice
like her.
And like persona that I'm always like, anyway, here's Aunt Hilda.
And she's like fun.
And
stuff.
And it's literally, and her hair has like the same hairdo that she wears in Sabrina. And I'm like, literally a witch, vampire. Here we go.
Yeah, right. Like there's always some sort of magic
something's going
around
on.
You.
And then who we have as, do you want to go through the siblings?
Yeah. So those two were Caroline Rhea and Charles. I was going to say Charles Shaughnessy, but if I have to do a ch and a sh next to each other, I always pick one. So
listen,
Charles Shaughnessy. I was just going to pick one. That's me flipping them. Charlie. And then
wait, what's his name?
Charles Shaughnessy.
You know what? I didn't need to know his name. It's Mr. Sheffield. I don't know why.
But Charles is such a great name.
It is.
And also it matches him.
It does, but it's going to leave my brain as soon as we're done with this because it's Mr. Sheffield.
And also, we didn't even talk about, his name is Dimitri, which we love that name. I had a fish named Dimitri. I'm sure I brought him up before. Loved him. And
Anastasia,
find Dimitri.
He can help.
I can't when you do that.
Oh, okay. Go to the old. But you didn't hear it from me. Oh, okay. He's at the old palace.
First Dimitri, and he talk about crush corner,
bro.
Talk about blue. No, he was so
God. John Cusack knew how
and John
to
Cusack.
embody.
I've always loved him too.
Knew how to embody that Dimitri. What a guy. We could literally, we'll just do a side podcast completely about Anastasia.
The whole thing is about that.
I swear, though.
It's a podcast.
A little pocket podcast. Little episode of this is just like, let's just talk about Anastasia. It's spooky. Rasputin? Excuse me?
Rasputin? There's ghosts?
In the dark of the night, evil will find her. The bug, ooh, ooh, my curse made each of them pay.
He's like,
and little girl got away. Little Anya beware. It's so.
I was thinking about when the bat, he's like, and I kick her, sir.
Oh, stop. Yes,
also, he's so cute.
Also, like dead, sir. And then I kick her.
Every time I see a bird at night, a seagull or a white bird, I always think it's a white bat.
Bird talk.
I don't know why. I'm always like, it's a white bat.
I've never seen a white bat, and yet.
Yeah, everybody's like, that's a
except
bird.
For him, you know.
And I'm like, listen, no, it was a white bat.
Okay, well, oftentimes we're like, there's a flock of birds. It's a flock of bats. So who's
That's what I'm saying. At night? Why are you flying around at night? You're a bat.
What do you got to go see?
Well, nothing. Because they can't see.
Oh,
no.
They were saying, what are the birds flying around at night? And I was like, well, the bats.
That's what I'm
saying.
saying. Why are the birds flying around? They're bats.
Exactly. The bats make sense flying at night.
They're bats.
They can't see during the day or any time, so the night is just like they're. Listen.
They're low visibility.
The most mystical man in all Russia. You see? Okay, Dimitri.
So good. So his name's Dimitri.
But he's from Transylvania, supposedly. I mean, yeah, he is.
Not Russia.
Not Russia.
And then we've got Adam as the middle child,
which again,
kind of the protagonist.
He is kind of the leading, like he leads the story.
The leading boy.
He moves the story. Also, we didn't realize his name was Adam until like halfway through.
Literally, she's like, Adam, and we're like, who?
Like that was.
Who are you calling Adam?
You mean narrator number 1? Like
yeah,
I don't.
You mean this boy who? Okay, this boy.
Stop.
Acts like he's like a 35-year-old in a child's body. Like he's like such an old soul.
So
and we were like,
funny.
It's
also,
so
again,
funny.
Was he okay? Hold on.
It's so funny because he's so good. We're just
he's
like, oh
so
my
talented.
God. Yeah,
He's
talented. Talented.
What is it? He has talent. Yes.
Talent.
He's from Spy Kids 2, Island of Lost Dreams or whatever.
Bad boy.
The bad boy song.
Glasses.
We'll put a little picture of that bad boy. I'm a bad boy, Carmen. Listen,
Carmen.
Gary Giggles. No, is his name Gary? Yeah, Gary Giggles. First off, I need to just tell my little thing here that I was like, I thought he was so cute when I watched Spy Kids.
Cute, but you thought,
and I don't even
you were
remember.
like his age, and you're like,
I know literally because I don't even remember thinking that when I watched this. Like I
didn't
even
either.
associate.
But now looking back, I'm like, oh, he was so cute.
I know,
he
but
looked the same.
It's like I think Spy Kids 2 was a little bit later, and like I just was like in love. But it was like 2002 because it was around the same time that Attack of the Clones had come out, and you know the Hayden Christensen of it all changed my entire DNA, brain chemistry. And I remember just thinking, like, they don't, like, look alike if you really... But they have the same haircut. He just looked like he could be a younger...
Hayden Christensen.
Yeah, like, I also had those, like, Star Wars books that took... Like, it was almost like an Animorph situation where it showed young Anakin from Phantom Menace and how he morphs to look... I need to show you this. I'm going to put up an image of this. Put up an image of this when I show it to you. It's literally, like, it shows him morph into looking like Hayden Christensen. And they did a really good job to show... It's really cool. And I felt like this boy... was in there. Looked like one of the middle ones. Yeah, like and like I read some Star Wars books at that age too, where like it was about young Anakin being trained by Obi-Wan in those in between years, and I'm like, could this boy not play this? He could, and I was
not him.
I was like, here's an Anakin that's apparently in my mind, like this is an attainable Anakin. He's closer to my age. When
listen, I all always do that too, where I'm just like, even now I'm like, oh, okay. As if I'm gonna like happen upon. You never know.
You never know.
You never know when you're gonna happen upon
a
celebrity
literally
who will fall in love with you.
Like Anyway, listen. So here's the thing. This boy, we loved him in Spy Kids 2. He's so funny. He's so talented.
Yeah. Honestly, he acts like I was saying. I'm like, he acts like Dean from Supernatural.
The way he acts. So funny. It's like, so true.
He's like.
What did you say where you're like, where's Dean when you need him? And then I was like, well, you just pointed out he's right there.
Because there was a part, obviously, throughout where I was like, if Sam and Dean were here, they would have cracked this by now. And she's like, they are, that you said, that's Dean. And I'm like,
called them sisters Sam because you're like, and she's taller.
I'm like, she's taller? She's Sam?
It was so funny. They're so, like, he makes it. He's just, I don't even know.
Her acting a little more cheesy in this.
But it's like he grounds it. He literally is just like, right? Like, it's just, it's so good.
I mean, Supernatural's cheesy. Let's get real. I love it. I love it with all my heart.
But he's a great centerpiece for this movie, like of being like the kid it's from his point of view. He's we're introduced through things through him. The whole plot revolves around him needing, like, and her too, I guess, but it's him.
And the little boy.
Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, who's the actor?
Miles Jeffrey as Taylor Hanson.
Miles Jeffrey, who again, we agree that while he is supposed to be 8, we think, even though he like looks 8 as well, like he looks like he's probably that older, he acts a bit more like a 5 and 6-year-old, not because he's like disobedient or like, he just acts more like naive about stuff.
Yeah, and like,
you know,
they baby him.
Yeah, like I feel like even though he is the baby, like you'd think at that age they would have been more like with him, as opposed to like, not like they have to be, but I don't know. He just acts like the things he says. We were kind of like, how old are you?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Like he acts more like a little
like
baby.
Clueless kid, as opposed to being
not
like
a baby, but
yeah, but like he's more like, as opposed to being like, hey, I mean, he doesn't have to be all snarky or anything, but we felt that. Okay.
But I kind of like thinking about the kid from Home Alone 3.
Oh my gosh. Honestly, same haircut
style, and I think he's 6.
Gosh, he was a baby in that.
Like,
he is so.
I feel
like he was like 5 or 6. He was so tiny.
I think he's supposed to be 8. Actually,
but he looks so young.
I think he's 8, but he just was like shorter.
He's a tiny boy.
Yeah, he's tiny. He was tiny.
So cute.
So, but the way he acted, like I feel like is more
of an 8-year-old. Like you don't have to be a snarky kid, but you can be more on top of like knowing. Like, you just are a little bit more aware.
Yeah.
Even if you don't know, clearly you don't. We're like, an 8-year-old should know everything. No.
And he was also the third, the baby, and he was the third one. And he had a brother and a sister.
And the way they...
And the sister was I don't know if the sister was oldest, but anyways.
Wait, who was the actress again?
Scarlett Johansson.
That is the wildest thing ever. That takes me out of when I feel like that movie's more recent than it is, and then as soon as I think of that, I'm like,
you're like, she's like 14 or something.
It's crazy. Anywho,
crazy.
So those are the siblings.
Oh yeah, because the sister is Chelsea, and it's Laura Vanderhort. Oh, Laura Vanderhort, who was in Smallville.
Okay, and I don't remember who, but I feel like she looks familiar.
And we have Van Helsing, who's played by Robert Carradine, which
we'll recognize from the Lizzie McGuire credits.
Lizzie McGuire's dad.
I'm thinking of
Mr.
the credits
McGuire.
And it'll show
the ball
and the dad walking by with Matt in his arms because remember how he walks by and he's like and keeps walking.
I love it. Sometimes you fake it, sometimes you make it. I think I said it backwards.
Something.
Each closer each and every
day. Figure it out on the way. And all the bouncing balls.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The balls
is that what you said?
Like,
yeah. Because I remember there was one where Matt did that, and then as soon as Matt gets in trouble for it, and that's why he
which
walks
he
by.
acts like the middleest.
It's so cute.
The middle child.
I don't even know how young Matt was supposed to be at the beginning. I wonder his age.
I know. I feel like he reminds me of like the Adam in this almost.
What's funny is that the visual I have now of the dad walking by holding him like that and being like it's like he's such a dad in Lizzie McGuire, and it's just this character is so funny.
It doesn't
go
with him.
And yet it's kind of the perfect thing to just have.
But it's
so random. We can't tell if it was intentional. It has to be. The casting department didn't land on him to just say, well, that wasn't as intended. Like that had to have been what it was.
I wonder if it's because like Dimitri is so like suave and stuff, and so like Van Helsing can't be like that.
He needs to be. Although if it were
like
a more serious film, like if
it
was less of a comedy or less of a children's like dramedy kind of thing, I feel like it would have a more serious Van Helsing.
Like he can be serious, but not as suave. Almost,
but he
he had to be
goofy, like in a not like in an embarrassing way, but like he's intentionally this dork, quote unquote.
But he's like trying to be serious.
Yeah, who's like, I've got it. And it's like, okay, and he doesn't fail at stuff.
No.
Like, even if he misses something, it's not because it's like, oh, you dumb butt. It's just like, okay, like, messed up or something. But, like, it's like he's not like a, like, klutz and is messing up. It's just that he's so, like, it's like weren't you saying, like, maybe it runs, I mean, it does run in his family because it's like if they're going with the lore that it's the Van Helsing line. Yeah. So we were saying, like, maybe it's because it runs in his family, and he's just like,
he just is like, this
Sam,
is me.
it's a family business, you know?
Yeah,
it's like
family, but killing people, hunting thing, killing people, saving people, hunting.
What was it?
I always say that, killing people,
hunting, or saving demons, hunting, killing people. I can't.
Saving things.
It's so funny, but yeah, that he's a gem. Honestly,
I love it.
It's every single time it would come on.
Cast.
It was just like whenever I don't even know when it coincided, but after I had seen Lizzie McGuire and I would see this, I'm just like, it's Lizzie McGuire's dad.
This is what he does on his off days.
Literally, that's the best. Stop. I love it. Oh look, on Gilmore Girls, Sam.
Oh yeah,
Sam Dean. That's my friend calls him.
Dean.
She's like, oh, Sam Dean. I'm like, that's funny. Ha. Anywho, okay, so. That's the main cast.
That's the main cast. And this movie came out in the year 2000. Wow. Year 2000. Mm-hmm. And it's an hour and 25 minutes, which, again, if you listen to
shorter.
From Under the Bed, don't look under the bed.
From Under the Bed, Don't Look Under the Bed episode.
Yeah. That movie was an hour and 40.
Which you can feel it, though, because in a good way, because I feel like they added a whole other part to, like, round out the film. And this one, we definitely feel that it is that short.
Yeah.
You know, it feels that way.
I could have gone with another 20 minutes.
Yeah. And I feel like in watching it now, I do feel that where I'm like, this always felt like a full feature film as a kid. Like everything just always felt so much, everything always just felt longer, like as they do when you're a kid. You're just like, this felt so much bigger than it was. And it's like, everything did. But yeah, it's funny because like I feel like most of it's like just them tailing them on a date because it is called Mom's Gonna Date with a Vampire.
Because this, should I read a blurb?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it.
My finger.
Uh-oh. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. The what is it called?
Fall Guys.
No, I was thinking of the Animal Crossing sound. Whoa. Whoa. When you're like doing whoop.
It's so cute. The Hanson kids have major social engagements planned, but have all been grounded. So they are delighted when their mom gets a date, enabling them to sneak out unnoticed. However, their delight is short-lived when their brother Taylor suspects her new boyfriend is a bloodsucker.
Okay, first off,
Mom's
got a date with a vampire?
The person who's writing these, because the blurb from Don't Look Under the Bed, they used neighbor with a U. And this one says mom.
I love how like blatant that is, though. Like the name itself of the movie is Mom's Got a Date with a like. Mom's I feel like with a
bloodsucker.
I'm trying to think though. That's kind of funny though. That if it was the opposite, and I watched a British movie called Mum's Got a Date, and if I wrote the thing for somebody, I feel like if I didn't know who the audience was going to be, like if I thought it was still going to be an American,
say mom.
I think I'd say mom actually.
Oh, if he was American. No, I thought you meant if you saw.
Like if I watch the movie and it's called Mum's Got a Date and I'm writing a blurb for somebody and I just assume either most Americans are going to read it, I would just still say their mom. Like
I would say mom because it's in the title.
I guess,
so why
but
didn't
I guess
they write mom is my question.
I guess, but then I guess if I'm like, well, if I'm talking to Americans, I'm just going to say it's their mom. I'm not going to be like their mom, you know? Because I feel like then I'd have to just say that every single time that I'm referring to the whole movie. And I feel like I don't do that for other British movies I watch. Like if I watch a British movie and they talk about their mom, I'm like, you know their mom?
Their mom, yeah.
Like I just say
that's because you say that, but
I guess if it's an official blurb, you should think and be like,
that's true.
But I'm wondering who wrote this and who does she think she?
She.
Hey,
she.
Once we need to assume that somebody's a she. You know what I'm saying? Anonymous was always a woman. You know? Yeah, not always, but.
Probably.
Probably.
Who's to know? They're anonymous. They probably were.
You see? But yeah, I just think that's interesting that it's all very British. And again, so blatantly, it's not Mom's Got a Date, but that is a cute Mom's Got a Date.
It's cute.
Anyhow,
Mums were mentioned.
The bloodsucker.
Yeah.
Not a vampire. Not a vampire.
Vampire.
Bloodsucker. But yeah, so this movie, how does it start?
This movie starts with basically the whole thing about this movie is at the beginning is that they're like
it's a fake out kind of thing.
Yeah, it's a fake out. And
I remember thinking I forgot that it was a fake out. I was like, wait, is this the
You're like
vampire? Wait
because the acting too was like extra cheesy.
it felt very like what are we watching
like
here?
There's a vampire. It's basically like Dracula. So he's like taking the girl,
a new bride to his
back.
mansion,
She's under a spell, a trance. And some man walks out. He's like, "No, stop!
I can't."
And I'm
I didn't even realize he was the boyfriend or the whatever in question. It seemed like he was a guard. He's like, "No."
I thought he was like Van Helsing.
Oh yeah, or something like that. Yeah, where it's not the
maybe.
person. Maybe yeah, who knows? But he's like, "Stop!" And he's like, "Our love is stronger." And he's like, "Your bride is gone. She's mine." And he's like,
She's
"No,
mine.
Love is stronger." And then he immediately is like, "Please come to me" or something. And she like
it
breaks out
spell.
of it, and she runs into his arms, and he's like, "Ugh, love." Your true love broken. I don't even know if it ends with him just saying that, like taunting them, and then they like something happens.
Yeah.
Someone turns off the TV or something.
Yeah.
And you find out that it was in fact on their television within the TV. And Adam's watching. So Adam, the main character-ish, like loves he loves us.
Monsters
he loves
and vampires.
But he's like that thing where it's like he's a 13-year-old who's like, this is his thing. Like he's like, anyway, I'm the monster man or whatever they call him.
Yeah.
Like I know everything. And Taylor, the 8-year-old, you can tell is the one that's scared, and he's like, "Why do we have this on all the time?"
But like he wants,
he's like, "Stop."
He wasn't supposed to be watching because he was behind the couch, and then when the mom comes in, she's like,
"Why
great."
Are you it's like that thing where he was so curious, and then he's like, "It's like a glutton for
feel."
It's like, no, I gotta know, but then it's gonna affect him for the rest of the week because he's the kind where it's not just gonna scare him; it's gonna mess him up for the whole week. Which I feel I get it, but I guess I swear. But I just think it's funny because he's probably like, "I hate it here. This guy's always got the stuff on, and now I'm tempted to watch it." So
he's like, I want to watch it because he's definitely
literally
into
me
it.
with my mom.
Your mom
me
is
behind
Adam.
the couch trying to watch Strangers for like
that movie
for 2. It took me 3 tries. I was literally behind the couch for one of them. Like, calm
that
down.
Movie is a
but
lot.
also no, that movie's
it's scary.
It's a good movie, but man, it is a lot. But anyway, yeah. So Taylor's just like, I'm terrified. And yeah, and I guess, the mom's like, oh my gosh, we kind of get the setup of the whole family right away. Like, we're like, okay, it's a single mom. We got the oldest daughter, middle son, youngest boy, as we've already gone through. And I feel like right away, like, do they kind of enter the dynamic that their mom is single and that their dad is getting remarried?
Yeah,
right?
so the mom comes home and she's like, oh, I'm going to make you dinner, like, because she's mad. She's not because she's mad, but she's like, why are you watching this?
Yeah.
And then she tells Adam, she's like, oh, I want to talk to you. And then basically she's going to break the news that his dad is getting remarried, or their dad is getting remarried. And he's like, can tell she's going to say that. And he's like, oh, yeah. Like, he told us at the baseball game.
Okay, that's when he says the baseball game. And he's like, yeah, Taylor's going to like hold the rings or something. And I'm like, and she's like, isn't he too old to be a ring boy? Dude. But also, I mean, no rules. Do your wedding however you want to.
Yeah, or maybe, usually
like, it's like
flower girls and ring bearers.
I guess people don't really do the ring bearers anymore. At least, or maybe he's actually the perfect age because you kind of do need to be able to hold it unless you're being held by someone and it's like a little boy.
That's true.
So I'm like, honestly, maybe he's the perfect age.
He might be. Anyone can be, I guess.
Yeah, honestly. Do whatever you want for your wedding.
Yeah.
But
yeah, so she's like,
he's chill with it. He's like, oh, we already know. Which we were talking about that. Like, we were like, if he's already getting married to this woman, I would hope that they would have known and already had the discussion. Like, dad's dating another woman and getting married. I think
that they know that he's dating, but the reason you said that was because the invitations were out. Yeah,
the invitation's not even like they just got engaged. It's like the invitation.
Like they knew of her.
I'm surprised why the mom seems like maybe because it's official.
Like, when people get divorced, and he's like, "Mom, it's fine."
It wasn't even like a, "Hey, do you want to talk about the like?" There's something that's gonna. I mean, it wasn't even like, "Hey, a new step is happening." It was just like, when people get divorced, it's like what they get, like they're no longer with the person they were with, so they can get married if they want to, which is just that's so funny. But yeah, he's fine with it. They actually all seem okay.
Yeah, they're like okay.
There's no like resentful or like beneath the surface. Like it doesn't seem like there's something wrong where they're like, oh, and then your dad left us and this, like there's nothing that they bring up.
That's like all they ever bring. They never bring up the dad again. They're literally like, okay, anyway, which they should, because
we're talking about that.
Yeah, their mom
is literally getting turned into a vampire bride, and they're just like, and they're like, what? And I'm like, did we not have time to speed dial the dad?
I know they do.
Hello,
Chelsea has a phone.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm like, hello. But anyway, he's not of concern in this film. Like they just have a good relationship. They don't need to involve him. Apparently, whatever. He's like, maybe he was out of town. Maybe because they were planning the wedding, they were doing something. Yeah, they could have told us that, but that's fine. We're like,
they could have mentioned it.
We could have dropped a name or two.
I never thought about it until today.
Yeah,
the amount of times I've seen this movie, I've never been like, why wouldn't they call? I'm
always reminded that she's divorced. I don't know why. In my head, I'm just kind of like, whatever. For somehow the dad's out of the picture, and in my head, I was like, he's either passed away, he's either like a long time ago, because clearly that's not a present. Like it's not a relevant part of the movie. Mm-hmm. It's like, not like something I knew fresh. That he was not like
there, but like I didn't think about why. I've never been like, why didn't they call their dad for help?
I think I forgot that. Ever. I did not remember if they were divorced or if he was just gone. And like, but it's been a long time, so it was just not something that they're on top of mind, because usually you would like include that in the story if it's something relevant. And even just like a divorce, it's not like they're traumatized by it, like within the movie, like in the sense that they're like, man, that was rough. They're like, anyway, we have a great relationship with our dad. The divorce is for the better. Like, honestly, for everyone, clearly.
I feel like they're like, okay.
Whatever. Like, everyone's fine. But then they do milk it a little bit. Yeah. So they do, but it's all fake, obviously.
Because they're like, so basically the whole thing is that
we're introduced to this. We see their lives. They're
at school and everything. And Adam basically flies by the seat of his pants in general.
So funny.
And so he's supposed to write an essay about who he admires the most.
Which like, okay.
And he doesn't.
I'm like, first off, what kind of like summer day camp little thing? Like they're like, was it a summer, like what kind of assignment was this for? Like how old is he, 13? Mm-hmm. I mean, sure, fine, whatever, you can make it a creative.
Yeah, it does sound like something that
doesn't feel like a
like Taylor should be writing.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, but anyway, so he's making something up.
Yeah, so he like is at school and he just basically just makes it up on the spot, and the teacher's like, you didn't do your homework.
She uses like his monster thing to kind of craft, which is far more creative than what the prompt was.
Yeah, honestly.
If I were the teacher, I'd be like, okay, you didn't follow the assignment, but you did produce work.
You did something.
Like, I'm going to talk to you about having something to turn in.
Yeah.
But like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Anyway, he was creative. And so the mom addresses this.
He goes home and she's like, so your teacher called.
Which also, was that worth a call home, please?
I don't know.
Maybe it's been a reoccurring pattern. I guess it has been, but whatever. Yeah, so she calls and she's like, she's upset. And she's like, you need to do your homework. You need to like, whatever. But like you said, he's flying by the seat of his pants with every response. And honestly, you got to give him props.
Lynette. And she's like,
when did we start? And the sisters over there listening to this whole thing. And she's like, we're having a private combo. And she's like, anyway, let me do whatever I'm doing over here. And it's funny because every response, I would almost be like impressed. I'm like, you know what, kid? You're going to make it far in life. Doing I don't know what. But listen, he's just over there like, listen, blah, blah, blah. But
he's like, how about... Because she's like, well, you're grounded.
Which, again...
For a week.
And we know from when he was at school, he talked to his friend, and there's like a concert in town. and his friend has like backstage passes for it.
Their favorite band.
He's like, oh my gosh, we're going.
Literally all the shirts he wears are this band's shirt.
This band, but different colors. You were like, why is he wearing the same shirt?
Well, it's the band.
It's the band. No, that's not Steve. That's not Alan. It's Steve. Adam. But so then he's like, okay, but this concert is in town. And she's like, okay, sorry. And we were talking about this where we're kind of like, one, if I was a parent, I would be like, okay, let's work something out because this is a once in a lifetime thing. Mm-hmm. 2, our parents just wouldn't do that. Like, I feel like if I had literally explained to them and how much, like you said, it would build resentment.
Yeah.
Like, it just starts to make you be like.
Because, like, is that really the way you're teaching them the lesson?
That's not how the world works.
I don't know.
Because there's like, kind of like, oh, tough, you shouldn't have messed up, then this is your punishment. It just so happens to fall on this. I just feel like that's not, especially for what this punishment was. He's not like a. He didn't really do anything that bad. He's not like a bully beating someone up and then doing something.
Yeah, if he was like abusing a kid or something, like that's different. If he was doing something really wrong
or he stole and did something and he's like, it's been an ongoing pattern and it's like, hey, the only way you're going to listen is when it truly affects your life kind of thing. But instead it's like, he's like not a bad kid.
No.
And it's not fair. Like, I just think that that's something like that could have really been.
He just didn't do his homework once. Maybe
or whatever.
Twice, I don't know.
He's also
but like,
he's so bright and so he's there in school. What else can we ask from children?
But our thing was like, why not? Because his thing was like, how about you, instead of grounding me for a weekend, you just ground me for a whole week, but just start on Sunday instead after the concert.
And that's like
and then
punishment.
She said no.
And I just feel like it's not fair when they don't budge.
Yeah, because
in my opinion,
he's still getting punished. And I don't know. I'm sure parents might be like, yeah, but
it's going to just be you can just play that game if you want to. And I'm like, I don't know.
But it's like, this would be that time.
It's different than if you were to say, I want to watch this thing. And it's like, well, you can record it and you can watch it after you're done. And it's like, but everyone's going to be talking about it. It's like, well, you can watch it. Like, I don't know. There's just
it's like, this is that time.
Although that's kind of sucky too.
But
like,
if
no,
he does
I don't talk about it at school.
Yeah.
Me coming up with a very specific thing. No, I'd be like, that's not fair.
No.
Anyway.
I was going to say, but like, this could be that exception of like, fine, but if this happens again, like, you're not gonna go,
right? Like, I'm like,
and you're grounded.
She didn't blatantly say this is an ongoing thing that you've done nonstop.
Like, this doesn't make sense.
You see? Yes. So he's grounded. The sister's making comments. I remember, and she's like, "I told you for that," because she says something like she calls him a name.
She's like, "Yeah." She's basically like being
taunting
like,
him.
You see, that's what you get. And the mom's like, now you're grounded. And she's like, Mom, I've got a date with Peter.
And he's like, haha. And it's so funny because honestly, that sucks. But it's like, she said it was a private thing between us. Stop taunting him.
Sarah was like, what? Why did she get? And I'm like, no, that's what she gets. And you're like, I don't have siblings.
I was like, that doesn't feel fair. And I was like, and you're like, no, she should have.
That's
not.
What she gets.
Like,
her mom warned her.
But if you were her, how would you feel?
I might have listened to my... No, I'm just kidding. I like how I'm like, he doesn't deserve... She deserves to get...
And I was like, but
she can go on a date with Peter later.
I'm right.
Okay, that's
to
different.
To be fair, her thing is very different.
That's different.
Her thing is very different. Still don't feel like she should have been grounded for that. I think she should have gotten a strong talking to. It had been like, you need to... Or like gotten yelled at.
Yeah, but at that point,
not
her
yelled
mom
at,
is like, I'm
not yelled
over
at, but yeah, you're right. Not yelled at, but been like, young lady... I literally told you, which also, that's nothing though. The brother needs to see her suffer.
Yeah.
Anyway, I can't. I know, I was like, is it?
They're good kids. Like, they're literally not
really
doing anything.
Are.
Well, until they almost get their mom.
I can't. Literally, the
Killed
fact
by a
though,
man.
honestly, literally him, not the killing part, not any of that. But it's valid.
Wait, I'm sorry. I tried to drink this and there's nothing here and I'm like.
You're like, the, whatchamacallit, like, it's valid the way he is trying desperately to find a way to go to this concert because I feel for him. Her, yeah, I'm like, she's resigned to her fate being like, okay, I just can't go on a date, which sucks. But again, very different.
I don't know Peter, but he sounds boring.
You know what I am, Peter? I'm bored. I'm
bored.
I'm bored. And at school, I think Adam tells his friend, who we recognize from something.
Yeah, he looks like
he's from
one
like
of
a
those
bunch
actors
of other 90s, 2000s stuff. Mm-hmm. Gosh, I can think of a specific thing he's in, and it's not coming to me. But I know
probably Brink, like everybody else.
I know. I was like Brink. Either no, he wasn't.
She
a
was
boy.
Brink,
Doesn't he date someone? Oh my gosh, is he from Quince? He's the friend from Quince.
Hold on, I haven't seen Quince.
Holy cow!
So
I literally just I could see him in my head. I was watching the movie in my head now.
Hold on, I'm gonna
find him. Does he show up?
That's not him. Also, he's adorable.
Is he from Quince?
I'm sorry.
Oh, baby.
I'm sorry. What?
Wait, see if
Epstein.
See if he was ever in Quince.
I'm sorry, I'm
getting off topic. He was a designated survivor.
He was.
I could see him and the friend talking to her, talking to Kimberly Brown, being like, hey, blah, 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 blah. Like, he was...
Kimberly J. Brown.
Oh, I know. I knew I was missing something. I literally was about to be like, Stevie's
Excuse me.
I was like, Stevie's about to correct me here because I literally just missed an initial.
He's also in Degrassi.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't watch that.
You see, okay, hold on. But I know him more from Quince though.
Yeah.
First off, I just cannot believe this. I literally was like, where have I seen his face talking? And I saw them, you know how like everything's always happening in Quince? And they like both walk up at the same time all the time. And they're like, blah, 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 whatever Kimberly J. Brown's name is in the movie. What is her name in that? Anyway, they literally are just like, blah, blah, blah. And he was so precious. Like, I remember thinking, also, I kind of feel like they look like they could have been brother and sister. They're not like together. Were they dating?
No, they're friends.
But I feel like there's always like some kind of like comment that they'll make. Like, and I'm like, no.
Are they? I could see that.
Yeah, but then I'm like, but aren't you guys siblings? They're not.
Aren't you?
But also.
Oh, he's in Umbrella Academy too.
As who?
I haven't seen it.
Is he in the new season?
Spoiler.
Oh God, is he in the new season? Yeah, I don't know what's happening. Maybe he's from the alternate dimension.
Don't look at that because I haven't seen any of it.
He must
but also, okay, look at
it. That's crazy.
Hold on, hold this.
Ha 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 ha. Ha 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 ha.
This is for the. This is for the YouTube.
What a cutie! Also, hold on. Oh, the light's right on. Yes.
Wait. You can't see.
Oh my gosh! Wait, let me see this thing up here. I recognize. Is this what his name's Jake Epstein? I recognize that.
There.
Yeah, I feel like he looks even more familiar. The fact that he was in Quince, he doesn't look like how he did as a kid. Yeah,
but he's so cute.
Like his eyes and face shape changed drastically.
But there he looks like him.
Yeah,
the eyes.
But the hair does a lot of different stuff.
This doesn't.
That's so wild.
But this does.
Him and Quince, what a time! I cannot believe. Anyway, Duffy is over there like, well, you can't go anymore. And Adam's like,
sorry, I forgot what we. Right. I was like, anyway, yeah.
But he's like, you can't go, no. And so then he gives his tickets to a different guy.
To.
Whatever this guy's name is.
Oh my God.
I don't even
Boomer.
Please.
And he's like, why would you do that?
But it's like that happens before though. Like, so basically he's saying like, I can't go. Then he has the idea. I don't know what Taylor comes to talk to him about. They come to talk about something.
Taylor?
Yeah. And I feel like they say something and then he has an idea to be like, wait, we could just get mom out of the house. I don't know what Taylor comes to talk to him about.
I don't know, but I know that his sister comes over and he's like, he asks him something. Yeah, I don't know what he asked either, but he's basically looking at like the classifieds.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called?
I think so, but also I don't know.
And he's like,
but there's another thing where it's like putting in the dating. I don't know what it's
the
called.
like wanted, not wanted, but like connections.
Desirable. Yeah.
And so he's basically like, okay, I'm going to email, because him and his sister.
The line from the trailer, Mom will go out?
And we'll go out.
What a love it.
And he's like, okay, or you can stay home and play Go Fish with your little brother because they're both going to be grounded. And she's like, funny. Okay, fine. And so they go through and they okay, talk about what his ad says, because his ad is literally like, it literally like doesn't like Italian food. Yeah, cannot. Yeah, doesn't like
the turtleneck thing is so funny. Don't wear a turtleneck. Basically, like I gotta see that neck. And then doesn't like Italian food. Likes going out only at the night.
Yeah, like everything
that literally the Monster Man does not have a clue. Yeah. Adam is not even phased, and it's like literally called Wolfsbane.
His thing is Wolfsbane, which later he's like, all the teens took the cool names.
Can't. Also, LOL. But again, Adam is just like, Wolfsbane sounds cool, and I'm like, sir. And so they're like, let's send him an email basically being like, hey, they're pretending to be their mom, aren't they? Or no, they say our mom.
We're gonna we want to set up a meet cute with you. So and our mom,
you're right, he's in on it,
and we're gonna
yeah.
So we're gonna go here, which is a grocery store,
right?
And we'll meet you in there with our mom at like 7 or whatever. And I'm like,
so
why would anybody see that?
You know what I just realized? Right, and then in time to meet within the same night, and then 2. The fact that I just realized how well they orchestrated this, though, to just get to the grocery store. They're over there, like, at dinner, and they're like, and the mom, again, I would have been like, yeah, I'm upset you grabbed me. But she's so like, manipulative. I know, but it's funny because
he's a good kid. He's also a little manipulative.
Again, though, he's going places. But the way the mom is like, I'm sorry you guys are upset, but that's when I would be like, I am upset. You're making me miss the once in a lifetime. Like, I'd be so mad.
I know. It's like he forgot.
He's not even thinking.
Forgot about it at that point because he's like, you know,
it's not that,
I was
Mom.
so sad.
I'm just.
I was thinking about how our life used to be.
Yeah.
When we were like we used to have breakfast we used to have
like a big family, and it's like what they were literally really fine before. Yeah. And they're like, and we'd have pancakes. She's like, I can make pancakes.
He's like, with chocolate chips? And she's like, I don't have any.
So where do they go?
And then he's like, I was remembering chocolate chips.
Literally, the fact that he's just scrambling to be like, we got to go to the store.
Him and the sister are like.
But it was so fun. It's what we talked about where we're like, it's so nostalgic when you're just like, let's go right now. And you just kind of go in whatever you're wearing.
Pajamas.
Yeah, literally. That's at Chipotle tonight.
That was today. We went.
I did change, but
I went with this full two-piece.
Listen, I had to wear the UG shirt to just like make it a full effect. We were just like, listen, we've been doing things. The Chipotle guy liked it. Things. Okay. He was like, your shirt? Mm-hmm. But listen. The way though that felt to watch them walk in,
going through like a grocery
and the way
store.
they just grab and they're like, okay, grab whatever you need, grab whatever you get, let's get out of here. Because it's like you're trying to get out because it's like almost like 8 probably. It was so cute and nostalgic. It was so cute and cozy.
And then the sister goes up to some random guy and she's like, you know what I hate? Italian food. And he's like getting
in the pasta aisle, and I'm like, girl, why'd you? You were like, why'd you go here?
And she's like, oh,
I can't. They're trying to find Wolfsbane, obviously. Again,
then we see Van Helsing walk in.
Stop. And I do remember as a kid being fooled for a minute, being like, that's Wolfsbane.
Yeah.
But it's Liz McGuire's dad. And
it's not. It's Liz
McGuire. And it's Pikachu. No,
Clefairy.
Wait, what is it?
Clefairy. Pikachu. Clefairy. Fuck.
So funny.
It's funny you say that because I quoted that yesterday.
Oh, it's so good. Pikachu. I can't. So they're like, so they don't even see him though, right? Taylor might, but I don't know. They're all just looking for a man.
Taylor's like just observing everything because they truly kind of forget that he's there.
I know.
He's always like
Taylor's just there.
You know,
and
he's like so short that he's like underneath everybody. Like,
which I'm like, sir, are you 5? I'm so confused.
Yes.
Anyway, they're going around. What do they say again? Where they're like, okay, well, we got to get out of here so we can. They make a plan to be like, we'll get her. What do they say? It's like when they're trying to leave instead.
Oh, no, she's like, oh, we have to go or something. He's like, Mom, but I think they were trying to be like, wait, because they're trying to look for the guy. And then she
come over here, basically. Yeah. Like, come this way.
And then all of a sudden, you see someone ram their cart into her cart. And they're like, ha, 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 should we exchange numbers? Ha,
and then
like,
Adam
as if you would
is like, Mom,
for a car accident, like, basically.
That is cute and very funny. Honestly, if that happened.
You already know.
I'm going to start.
You already know.
Flustered.
I'm like, we're talking about how when you see people in coffee shops and grocery stores and stuff like that, and I just
it's like, anyway, are you close to my age? I'm in love with you.
You romanticize it, and you're just like,
I literally, it's that thing where
and then I'm always like,
I see the whole life played out.
Yeah, me too.
Listen,
why are we like this? A lot of people
take tips though, because if a man literally rammed my car and then was like, we should just exchange numbers.
Don't be creepy.
Yeah, but don't be weird about it though. You know what I mean? But also don't look at me or don't touch me. You know what I'm
honestly, don't approach.
Like, honestly, do not perceive me. Goodbye.
I know. It's
but also,
like, oh, but also.
But anywho,
be approachable. How about that?
Just
be approachable.
Listen, just be a good guy.
And be a good person.
Be a good person. Ugh. Anyway, so they're exchanging, and it's so funny because Adam's like oblivious and is like, Mom, we gotta go. And like Chelsea is like,
Mom's making a love connection.
I can't. That was the way
which I think that was in the trailer.
Yeah, Mom's making a love connection.
And he's like,
what?
This man, I just love how it goes. Are you kidding me? This man thinks he's in the parking lot. And she's like, he's flirting.
And she's like, no way. I can't.
He's like, I don't get it. I'm a 13-year-old.
Yet he's like 35 at the same time. So funny. And then they're like, okay, well, forget Wolfsbane. Which, like, why did they not even assume that this could be him?
They truly were like, this man.
Yeah, like, let's forget
Which
Wolfsbane.
Honestly, they were like,
working
whatever.
Out instead. And I'm like,
that's what I was thinking.
Were they waiting for him to wink at them and be like,
it's me?
Yeah. I don't understand. So that gets set up, and they're like they walk out together. They barely miss Liz McGuire's dad, Van Helsing, and they like basically exchange numbers and say like, let's go on. Like they say, let's go on a date.
Yeah,
right?
He's like, oh, what am I thinking? You're married, and she's like, no, I'm not. And he's
not.
like, oh, okay. So then I guess they go, okay, it's a date. Like we're gonna
So he's like, here's my information. Like I'll pick you up tomorrow for what? And they don't say what they're gonna do, but like. Anyway, I think, yeah. And so then...
Which we're like, wouldn't it be nice? And then we're like, it was a vampire and a murderer. So maybe not. Maybe not.
Don't touch my cart.
Maybe don't.
Maybe literally don't. It's so true. But this is worst case scenario.
Yeah.
So, although, vampire, you say. Anyway. Trans, you say.
Us watching the interview. I mean, the invitation. We're like...
Listen. And the interview. That one is messed up.
Not that one.
I mean, great, but messed
I keep
up.
saying in the interview when I mean
it feels like
I know.
Listen, but anyway, so then they're in the parking lot, which is like the darkest, most wet, like rainy area. Like it's done raining or something, and they're like, okay, bye. He walks like 2 feet away.
2 feet, drops the groceries, everything crashes.
Like throws them.
Turns into a bat.
Full on transforms.
Flies away.
Full on just takes off. Taylor sees the whole thing.
And then, literally.
And also, honestly, I feel for him because I would literally be like,
but the second
it happened right there.
Before they went in, his mom was like, if I hear anyone in his family say anything about vampires. And so he obviously is like a child.
Though, because I feel like you should be telling that to Adam, being like, stop telling stories, stop watching it in front of him. And I feel like it's not fair if Taylor wants to talk about his fears with you.
Yeah. Because he was like, he literally said it to himself. He's like, I can't say anything anymore because my mom said I can't.
That is so sad.
And I'm like, again, it's like he's like a kid, so he's like taking it to heart. But I'm also like,
not fair. So they go home. Basically, they're like he basically tells Duffy, like, hey, I can go again. And he's like, I gave your ticket to Boomer. He's like, how could you give it to? They're like at a diner, and he's like, how could you give it to Boomer? And he's like, you said you couldn't go. And Boomer's like the most chill, like, anyway, I've got it now.
He's a high school
and he's
bully.
like, well, what can I do? And he's like, nothing. And he like brings a bunch of stuff to trade with, which is sucky because he was just going to have the tickets without doing all of that. And he's like, here's all this stuff. And he's like, no, it's still not enough. And I'm like, and he's like, what I want. And then I think he doesn't ask. Adam offers. He's like, because the Boomer's in high school, I think.
Yeah. He's
like,
10th
grader.
He's like, I know that you like this girl, Chelsea Hansen. And he's like,
how do you,
Chelsea? And he's like, well, that's my sister. Which I'm like, if that's their bully, which he is.
Wouldn't you want to be?
Wouldn't he know that that's his sister?
Wouldn't you know? And then also, I guess he wouldn't care.
I guess he doesn't care.
And nor does he care about making him like usually a sister would care if you're like, remember I used to think that in, what movie was it? There was something where it's kind of like, ew, I'm not gonna like you if you bully my little brother. Like even if you don't get along with your little brother, it's like,
that's still
don't touch
your
my little brother.
Yeah.
Like and I feel like there were some movies on Disney Channel, like I don't know which ones, but maybe it was Even Stevens, where it was kind of like, I mean that was a totally other, but it was like something where I'm like, I don't know what it was, but I was kind of that thing where it's like, hey, I have a crush on your sister, but I'm gonna treat you like crap, and it's like,
that's not gonna
that you
work
would leave
out.
That one kid alone. Even
so I don't think he knew.
Yeah, he must not. He was just oblivious
because he was like, what?
Right? And he's like, okay. And he's like, I can get you a date with her. He's like, what? And a kiss, like goodnight kiss. And he's like, on the lips. And he's like, I can't guarantee that.
Yeah.
But he's like, fine, I'll do it. So he gets the tickets from him, doesn't tell Chelsea any of this. But that's when they're like, okay, well, I don't know if he even says it. It's like basically the night of, though. And they're like, okay, cool. Like, we're going to go. He shows up at their, Taylor's having a crisis. He's elsewhere. Okay.
Dimitri shows up.
He shows up looking spick and span.
The best. Not the best part, but I just love this part
because
so
he's
iconic. Like
it's iconic.
Standing there, and he's like, and they're like, oh, come in.
Yeah,
like,
I love how he does it
again.
The way Adam does it too. It's such an adult. Well, come in. Don't just stand there all night. And
he's like crosses the threshold.
Got the invitation. I love vampire lore.
I know,
it's so good.
And you know what's funny? I don't even think they mention that later, do they? Because usually that's something that you'd think that they'd talk about.
They did say something in the beginning, I thought.
Where they can't come in unless you invite them.
I think it was just a thing he listed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Dimitri never.
Because I was gonna say, like we know. I think
it's when that's what Taylor came to go talk to him. And right before they set up the Wolfsbane thing, that's what Taylor, he's like, I'm scared. And he's like, it's okay, but I'm the monster man.
Yeah.
Maybe this is after.
Well, yeah, it might be after when he saw it.
Either way, Adam is constantly saying, like, I know this stuff. Like, I can tell you, these are all the things and all this stuff. And I don't know if that was before or after when he says that specifically.
And then he also says, how do you kill a vampire? And he's like, well, you could steal their coffin and keep them until sunrise. And like, all this
lore stuff that, as we know, I was just about to say I love vampire lore, but obviously it changes from one myth to the next, but there's still consistencies.
There's a lot of stuff that are consistent.
There's a lot of consistent things,
and then there are things that are like both vampire and werewolf. Also, because like the silver.
Yeah, the silver bullets and the wooden stake. I thought the silver bullets was specifically for werewolves, and then stake was for the vampire.
But I've seen it go both ways.
Interesting.
Yeah,
I've heard it both ways. But it's like, and then. I feel like there's always these things too where they're saying that there's the vampire stuff. It like there's myths that are the same from different regions of the world, and it's like that never had contact with each other.
Because vampires are real.
The cold ones. Listen,
the cold one.
It's like from Twilight.
Listen, don't. The skin of a killer.
Listen.
The skin of a killer.
I know. It's like that thing where I'm like, I don't know, man. Although how long would it take for society to think of, hey, what if someone sucked their blood? Like, you know.
Yeah, but all of the like specific
I don't know if those things are the ones that are all aligned, but you never know. We have to do our research.
I believe in a lot of cryptids. Okay.
Look at the research. Yeah, Stevie does.
I do.
Stevie's like, anyway. Stevie's like, say less.
Like, say less.
Say less.
Mention it, and I'm like,
and you're like, I'm on it. Listen.
I'm just
knock
saying.
on wood. Anyway, and he's invited in. He's there. He sees like the mom and them talk. They're kind of like basically like, okay, we're ready. Like they're kind of saying, where are we gonna go? Because it's kind of just like a free for all night. And she mentions the Harvest Festival. And is that like where the concert's nearby? Is that why Adam is like,
they're like, no.
Oh, and then she's probably going there for a date. Mm-hmm. So it's like everything's happening with the Harvest, and they're like, no, which like like that seems like such an obvious choice. So why wouldn't like it's like they should have known that would have possibly been where they went. But also, this guy's wanting to take her out to dinner. He's like, no, we're gonna go to like a dinner, wine and dine, like you said. So they're like, no, don't go to the Harvest Festival. Just anyway, and Taylor's like upstairs, like she doesn't even come down because then they're like, she even says, where's Taylor? I'm gonna say goodbye, and they're like, it's okay, like. Isn't that like why
I don't know.
Is it because he said something? Does he say he's a vampire to the kids?
Not yet.
And they said something where they're like, don't let him come down.
I don't know.
Because he's going to wake mom. Mom won't go.
I don't remember.
I think he says something and they're like, no, he's not. Mm-hmm. And then he's like wanting to say something and they're like, no, like if he gets to mom, or maybe that was later.
I know they do it later.
Mm-hmm, where they're like, if he tells mom, she'll come home immediately. But I don't know. So, like, either way, she's like, well, where's Taylor? Maybe it's because he sees him again and he's, like, freaked out by him from up the stairs or something. And then they leave, though, without her saying bye to Taylor. So then they're like, okay, she's out. Get ready to go. We're going to go. They're going to go on their bikes, I guess, right? And then...
No, they didn't leave yet.
They didn't. But they want to use their...
They're like, okay.
Oh, never mind. You're right.
Yeah, they have, like, a babysitter come in and watch
him. Which remember you were like, wait a minute.
Are they just gonna, did they forget he exists?
They keep bringing it up. What's her name? It's they said the name Tiffany. Like, you like Tiffany, and he's like, yeah.
He's like, she like, I don't know. He says something.
It's just that she's always on the phone, or she does. She's chill, but she's just like not. She's playing games. Yeah, like, she doesn't play with him.
So so basically they're like, okay, cool, but then he like disappears. And they're like, where the hell is Taylor? They see him, like, leaving, don't they?
Yeah. Like, and they're like, where's he going? And they're looking out their windows.
He takes his bike,
Yeah, and they're like, if he gets to mom and finds her, she's going to come home. Yeah. And they're like, oh, my gosh, like, we got to go get him. And so they do find him.
Right outside the restaurant.
Yeah.
And he's
like. In the middle of, like, downtown. Like, it's, like, all the way down there. And I'm like, what?
And that's when he's like, he's a vampire. And he's like, no, like, I promise. Like, I'm the monster guy. So
that's why I feel like in the beginning, at one point when he was telling him, like, I think that's when he came to first, like, before they get the date started. Like,
he said something.
He said something where he's like, hey, remember, like, I can, or like, it's okay. Like, vampires aren't real. Or like, I can tell you, or if they are real, like, you're not going to see them here. And then that's why when he's there at the restaurant, he's like, I'm the monster man. If I can tell you that he's not. And he's just like, And it's funny because I remember thinking, like, I'm surprised that he actually goes up to the table in there. I thought at first he was just going to pretend to spy on
Taylor?
No, both of them. Oh. Because I thought he was just going to, like, Adam was just going to be like, I'll watch him from here and see. And then be like, look, he's not here. But instead, like, if they thought the mom would come home because she saw Taylor there, I'm surprised that just both of them walking up doesn't make her be like, what's wrong?
She's like, forget it. I'm just going to go home.
Yeah, she does threaten it.
Yeah.
Because they're just like, no. We just, and like, they point blank say, like, oh, he thought he was a vampire.
Which I was like, how are you like that brave? If you think this man is a vampire,
that the boy, that Taylor's walking up there,
he's brave enough to walk up to him and be like, he's a vampire.
No, I'm like, y'all need to discuss that without me there because
don't discuss that with me.
I won't be there for that. And so they kind of make a joke out of it, or like they take it seriously in the sense that they're like, oh, he's scared. And then even Mr. Sheffield, he plays along, seeming like a very good guy, being like, oh no, well, if I was a vampire, like, I wouldn't be able to put a spoon on my nose. Like, they never can.
He's like, the spoon trick. And then Adam's like, what? And he's like, play along.
Right. the spoon trick. And I'm like, I can't. He's like, you know the spoon trick. And so he's like, right, the spoon trick. And so then he puts the spoon on his nose and it balances. And so they make it like all suspenseful. And even the mom's going along with it, of course. And she's probably like enchanted by him being like so good with the kids. And it doesn't fall off. So he's not a vampire. And they're like, you see? And even Taylor's like, okay, I see. You're right. You're not.
He's like, I guess. And then they walk away, and then
there's a huge mirror.
Yeah. And then Adam's like, okay, and he turns around and he sees his mom at the dinner table by herself.
Which does nobody else. I guess no one's
looking in that mirror.
And noticing.
And why did he sit there knowing there's a mirror nearby?
That's what I'm saying. I guess if you look at the mirror and just see a woman sitting by herself, but she's talking.
Yeah.
I feel like I'd immediately go, who's she talking to?
What's happening? Or maybe you just don't notice because you're not looking. But like still. Yeah, if I were him, I would be like,
make a case for it where they're like, people don't recognize, they always say people don't see what they don't see. And it's like, boy. But he, can't. So he says that. And then...
Adam
is like it's like in the trailer where he's like,
yeah, and then that's
turns
when
around,
he
sees them go, do bye, and he has the little tooth.
And he's got his little teeth, which like you said, it's in the trailer.
Yeah, and he's like, oh my gosh,
and I like how he's blatantly like, yeah, I'm a vampire.
Yeah, like does he know that Adam knows when he does that though?
Well, his teeth are out.
Okay, I guess you're right. Yeah, I guess you're right. I don't know if he saw that he saw the mirror. But either way, he's like, anyway, like haha. So then like, I know he's just like, anyway, what can you do about it? At that point, nothing. And so he's like freaked out. They go out. Chelsea is like, yay. And he's like, no, we got to go.
He's like, yeah, we'll take you home. Yeah. And then they go home with Tiffany.
Oh, that's right. Have him, take him in, get him safe.
They walk outside. He's like, anyway, we got to go back.
We got to go back to the restaurant.
Mom's on a date with a vampire. What?
Literally, it's that verbatim. It's so cute. He's like, anyway,
bye.
We're going back.
So anyway.
It's like, so anyway, we're ready. No, you and I are going back to the restaurant. What? We got to go say Mom's on a date with a vampire.
What is going on? I thought we just proved that this wasn't real.
It's so funny. I love the grammar and the language of it all too. Like, Mom's got a date. Like, I don't even know if that's how he exactly says it in the show or in the movie. Maybe it is. Maybe but what a fun way to say it.
Yeah, they do, because I think Taylor's like, Mom's got a date with the vampire.
Yeah, it's not even like Mom's on a date. Not even like Mom's on a date. Mom has a date. Like, it's such a fun... Mom's got a date with a vampire. It sounds like such a teen slang.
Yeah.
Mom's got a date. Mom's making a love connection. I can't.
That's exactly how
it's literally it. Mom's got a date with a vampire. I can't. But it's the Duomo. That's the Duomo. Isn't that pretty in Florence?
Beautiful.
Sorry. I think. Wait, what is that? Oh, that's the person who took it. I was like, what's happening?
You're like, what?
Sorry. Every time the Google Photos were like, anyway. So they're like, Mom's got a date with a vampire. I love that.
He's like, anyway, we gotta
go. So then they immediately are like, get on their bikes, go back to the restaurant, right? Or they try to. They aren't there anymore. Yeah, right? By then,
where would they go? Like, they spend the rest of the movie trying to find them, basically.
Yeah, it's basically a wild goose chase of going from one place to the next. Because then they think, wait, where would Mom want to go? And that's like,
but then he's like, oh, she did say they wanted to go dancing. Like, and also Taylor says that because
Taylor leaves too. Or at one point.
But he also wrote to Van Helsing.
Oh, that's
because he saw like his name and he's like, vampire, whatever it said. And he was like, I'm going to email him or whatever. Remember? Or no, he calls him and he's like, can I get the number for it? Remember? And the person's like, and he's like, yeah, I can hold.
It's like, so cute. Yeah, I can hold. Like, I can what hold. A cute.
Also, he's like,
that's so precious.
It's funny because he's like 8 and you're like, okay, he acts younger, but then he does stuff like that where he's like, anyway, I'm gonna go. Hold. Like,
it'd be almost cuter if he was 5 and young and then did something like that. No, I can hold. Like, it's so cute, so funny. It reminds me of some other movie that they do that with, where it's like a little kid and it's anything
again, Home Alone,
anything that happens on Full House, like it's just anything they do, and it's like they could just do anything, and it's like that's the cutest thing in the world, and it's like it's just a baby.
Yeah,
like it's just Michelle breathing, and they get a standing ovation.
They're
like literally that was the show's premise for the first like 4 seasons, I swear.
That's true,
so true. And then even Stephanie with her like little
hot dog,
or what is it? Then how rude,
Well, pin a rose on your nose.
I can't. But then,
which I didn't like as much as how rude. But she also says hot dog. I don't know, whatever.
Because then Michelle does a lot of the, you got it, dude.
You got it, dude.
I can't. It's like so. But so he calls, and so Van Helsing gets that, right? And so then
he comes over.
Shows up there. Tiffany's on the phone. Just a man is just in the house.
Yeah, because Taylor lets him in. And also, Tiffany is on the phone the whole time. She's like, because he comes in and he's like, okay, explaining it to him, and he's like, I can't, you're a child, like I can't take you. He's like, I'll go, because he's obviously, we've seen him to like hunting.
Yeah, he's like trying, he keeps calling whoever he's with that he's like, I know where he's at, or I'm gonna follow this. He went to the car dealership and that's clearly where he like shows where the footsteps of Dimitri, and it's like clearly Dimitri like just bought a car, I guess, because he's been in his coffin the whole. We meant to say at the start when he gets that email from the kids, he's in a coffin and a like, hand literally comes out,
and he what's it called? He lives. So he says to him when they're in the grocery store that he lives in like this manor.
Oh yeah, and they're like, that's supposed to be haunted. And he's like, okay, yeah. And so I think when he comes in, he's like, wait, did this guy, I don't know when he asks him, but he does use Taylor to say like, hey, wait, did he give any indication where he lives? Like whatever. So like they work together. But how does he do it that he's able to take him in the car? He basically was like, it was just funny because he's like, no, I'm going to go with you. And he's like, you're a child. And then he walks in and Tiffany's like, there's just a man here. He's got to go to bed. Yeah. He can't. Not because I'm not scared that there's a man. She's not even. His bedtime is, 8. Like, what she goes, you've got to go to bed. He's got to go to bed. So like, funny. What? I'm like, I would have been screaming like, to high heavens. Okay. I can't. I know. Okay. I think what happens is that he like sneaks into the car. Okay. And then he's like, What are you doing in here? And he's like, well, it's my mom. Yeah. Like, I have to. Gotta save her. And they're just like the randomest little side quest. Like, little buddy cop duo. Like, and then they're in the car with Steve and I like love it because he's like, they get hungry or something. He pulls out a sandwich. And he gives half to, because he's eating it himself. And then he sees that like Taylor's obviously like, hungry. So he's like, all right, here's half. Which I'm like, you don't know if he has allergies. Literally a peanut butter sandwich. Why didn't they make it a turkey sandwich or something? It's so funny. And he's just like, he's like, did your mom make this? The cutest thing. And he's like, I just love how it's not even like no. Yeah. He's so pure that he's just such a sweet, like he's just like, I don't live with my mom. Yeah. Like I love that response, like to teach this kid. Yeah. No, my mom didn't make it. End of story. It's like, I don't live with my mom. Yeah, I don't live with my mom. Which is that supposed to be a joke too? Because it's like this guy looks like he could live with his mom or something. Maybe. Like you know what I mean? Like they didn't really enhance. Like it's just funny because it's like, why is he so determined to be like, I don't live with my mom? I think it's just because he looks at him and he's like, that's cute that he would think that. And he's like, I feel like when I would talk to kids like that though, if they were to say, if a kid asked me that, I feel like I go, no, my mom didn't make it. I feel like I could hear the kid who would be much younger asking that would be like, why not? And I'd be like, because I don't live with my mom. Yeah. Like it's just kind of funny how he's like, let me tell you, I don't live with my mom. But it's so cute. And Taylor's like, oh. Like so funny. And we were saying at that scene in particular, he sounds younger, like a little kid. Again, I could see a 4 or 5 year old being like, what? Your mom didn't make it? Yeah. And I'm like, adults live on their own because your dad moved out. Right. But I could totally see a little kid being like, did your mom make it? Oh, you don't live with your mom? Like or something. Yeah. That's so funny. Yeah, that's true. I feel like I used to ask that about my parents, being like, don't you miss your parents that you don't live with them? And they're like, it doesn't work like that. Like, or I don't feel that way that you would if you didn't see us for like, and I'm like, which is so funny. You're like, isn't that so cute and weird now that we're in that state? I mean, I know, I was just thinking that literally too, where I'm like, Mom, but also us missing. Yeah, it's like we miss. It's just like different the older you get. Like it just depends. Yeah. But also, or we don't rely on them in the same way. In the same way, but emotionally, we're still just like, hello, can you just be in the room? Yeah. Can you just chill in here? Like I need my alone. I need my independence, but also just be there. Just be nearby. They're like standing like the little like what? Like the player choose your. It's too good. But so they're off on their own doing that. Love it. They're off on their own. Then we just see the other two going from place to place because the mom and Dimitri go to like that karaoke kind of place. They go to like, she's like, do you like rockabilly music? And he's like, what the hell is that? And then they go in there and they're like, she's like, and they're all like, yeah. They all know her. They know her because she's Lynette. Like the singer, the lead singer, or one of the singers in a rockabilly group called like the Sisters something. Funny. She's like, it's been like 20 years since we sang. Oh my God. She gets up there, sings? Yeah, because Adam finds out that they're there. I don't know how. I feel like doesn't he say something where it's like, where would mom want to go? Or is that later? Yeah, but it's so cute how much they know their mom. Because he was like, where would she go? And then they find her and then he like sneaks in somehow. I know. He's like, I think he says, I'm going to my mom or something. Yeah, maybe. They're like, oh yeah, because they're like, your mom's Lynette, blah, blah. He's like, yeah. And they're like, and then he points her out so that she gets pulled on stage. That's right. And so that she can get away from Dimitri. She gets up there. He tells like a security guard, like that guy's been messing with, and he's like for
like,
Lynette
Hansen?
we make sure that she's okay, and so they're like, we're gonna go over there and get this guy out of here. They do kick him out, but of course he finds a way back in. Obviously.
He literally climbs up the wall,
and who
and
sees
also
it?
he
Chelsea sees it.
He bent their bikes with his bare hands,
and Chelsea sees this.
Chelsea's
happen.
like, that's
she's
when
like,
you said, you were like, she finally,
because before she's like, I don't buy this, and he's like, literally. And also, what did you say? You were like, you should know that this kid who did everything to make sure that he could go to this concert, he's dropping all of that.
I was like, he did all that, and if he didn't believe it, then like
it was like, I would have been like, hold on, something's up.
But clearly,
even if it's not a vampire, true.
So she wasn't like, no, come on, like this.
Because even
real.
if it wasn't a vampire, something's up. Yeah. Like clearly,
she believed him enough to be like, well, whatever
that
it is,
something was
like,
wrong.
I
need to go fix it. But then she sees that, and she's like, and when he comes back out, and he's like,
what happened?
How did he get back in there?
She walked back up. He walked up the wall.
Walked to the wall, destroyed our bikes,
and he destroyed our bikes.
And the fact though too, I love Adam's face though when he sees his mom up there performing.
I know they love their mom, and it's so sweet. And it's like that thing of like, again, every single time I'm like a single mom and me. And my brother and my mom, and it's just that vibe of like, okay, as my throat is like, it's that cute vibe of just like having that relationship with your one parent that you're just like, oh, and you have like a different, I don't know, it's like you appreciate them, you appreciate your parents hopefully regardless, but it's a different thing of like, oh, and he's just like, she's so great, look at her up there, like, and it's not even like the way he looks at her isn't even like, oh wow, seems, it's just like that's her,
because it's not like he doesn't act like he's never seen her
he's honestly like,
he's almost more like, oh yeah, like I haven't heard her in a while.
Yeah,
she hasn't.
He's like, oh, look, she looks happy. Almost like is the face
like
that
probably how she was maybe before the divorce or something. Like not how she was, but when she was at her happiest. Like she, you know what I mean? I don't know. He's like, I haven't seen her be happy like this in a while.
He's literally like
so cute.
It's so cute.
Ugh. And then, when they get out, that's when he's like, what happened? And then that's when she's like, well, he walked up the wall and destroyed our bikes. And then what happens right after?
And then next, that's when I think, because she's in the car with him, with Dimitri. And she's like, oh, I know, like, he's like, maybe we can go somewhere quiet finally.
Literally, he wants the exact opposite of what's happening on this,
She's like, yeah, right, let's go over here. And basically she's like, let's go to the Harvest Festival, right? And I think at this point, I don't know why they call Boomer and Duffy, and they're like, please take us to the Harvest Festival, because they see her drive by.
Okay. But so it is funny that they depended on Boomer. Like, why not just get like, that they have another destination, like they're gonna go to this concert.
Well, they're going there, so they're like, let's take us to
at the Harvest thing. Okay, never mind, just kidding.
I think they're like, okay, you're going there,
because it would be sucky if they were like going this way and it's like, can you come get us? It's like, no, we're literally at the concert. Like, what are you doing? Yeah, like, this.
It's at the Harvest Festival, I guess.
Okay,
but very so they're like, I don't know what, because they drive by and they're like, Mom, and then he's like, oh, they're going towards the Harvest Festival or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Or they're like, where would Mom want to go? Like, Mom would want to go. Yeah, so it's like, that would be where it makes sense. So they're like, let's go, and they get a ride from them, right? From Duffy and them. And then they get there, and then like they're being kind of like, they're like, will you help us? Or they ask for help.
Yeah, and Duffy's like, but we are gonna go see the concert. And then Boomer's like, I'm gonna hang out with Chelsea. And Chelsea's like, ew.
Which it does suck for Duffy though, because I'm like, they're just like, anyway, it's a vampire. I'm like, I wish that they had been like, we're getting the police, and like, this is something bad is happening, not just like, anyway, a goose chase. It's like, no. This is because they're like, it's our mom. And I'm like, yeah. Why are you talking about vampires? Yeah. Like, it feel like it sucks because there's like a miss. Like, I feel like Duffy did one. I can't tell.
Duffy wasn't purposely being a jerk, but he was not. He's like, yeah, but I gotta, and they're like, you're my best friend. He's like, you're my best friend, really?
Like, and he's like, I thought you were my best friend. He's like, I am. And like Boomer again goes over to Chelsea, like you said, and it's just like, anyway, and Chelsea has no idea what's happening. We just it's so silly.
He's literally I thought we had a deal, and she's like,
what did you think was like? She was just chill with this. What is like? You got to play it cooler than that.
It's gross.
If anything, he should just be
maybe he thought. I mean, good on him for thinking she knew about this.
I guess, but I mean, I thought maybe he would. Even if that were the case, I thought I would ease into it.
Yeah,
I would be like, I'm glad you wanted to go on a date with me. Yay! Like, or thanks for going.
Like, yeah, he wouldn't just be like, I thought
we're a thing now. Yeah, and then that
to him, and he's like. She's like, ew, you promised me a date.
So like, she's upset, but only for like
promise him a date with me.
Yeah. And he's like, it was before, blah blah blah. And I was trying to figure out how to.
She was so hurt.
I know.
She
has to go only be hurt for a little bit though, because things are about to go down. Like they're literally
he's like deals off.
I know. And so they go. Because he's like, deals off. I can't go to the concert anyway. And it's like,
no, it is true, because he walks up to her. She's like, I can't believe you would do this.
Yeah.
And he's like, but that was before. And it's funny because you were like, I don't know if I would believe him.
He's such a good actor. Like the character's a good actor. He's such like a, but also I'm like, but he's a good guy. Like,
a good guy.
He's 13. He's a good man. He's a good, what is the audio? He's a good man. He's a good man. What is the audio? You know what I'm talking about?
No. Well, like, maybe.
He's a good man. I don't know what the name is that she says, but she's trying to, and people are like me trying to convince. It's so silly.
My problematic fave is actually like
he's a good man. It's so funny.
He's a good man. He's a good kid. He literally was like, but you can tell, like you said, that he's acting, even because he's such a good actor, the actor, that you can tell the difference between him acting sincere and pretending to act sincere, like what in the movie.
And
so
in this, he's very much like, I messed up and I'm sorry that I hurt you.
Like, fine.
And they're like, we have to work together because mom's got a date with a vampire.
She's on a date with a vampire.
It's so funny. And so like they're like, okay, and so they're like, we need to locate her, we got to find her. She's over there like playing some kind of like game thingy, like carnival stuff, because it's at the festival. And then at one point they like, where are they on? They're riding one of the rides. At one point you can see that Dimitri hates his life. He hates every choice that has led
like,
up to this.
Did I have to pick this one?
I know.
Also, hold on.
Dumb. He should have ditched this a long time ago.
Wait.
He's so stupid.
I just want to say, again, we mentioned this while watching it. We're like, why is he picking a woman who has so many ties? Like, isn't it easier if he picks like a single woman? Who is more like, would be wooed by him in a way that like maybe if she was younger.
The way a real serial killer thinks. Like,
I know, let's not.
Find someone who doesn't have attachments, someone who can literally... Not to say this within
but then mom wouldn't have a date with a vampire.
Not to
just
say
like
this,
Lynette would have a date with
not to say this within the same breath of a serial killer, but the way Fyodor Ghost Stray Dogs is like, anyway, get her detached from everyone in her life, and then she'll cling to you. Which is literally though that mentality of manipulation, where it's like, how can you make someone?
We don't condone this. We don't.
But if Fyodor, listen.
But
anyway,
you're like,
wait, let me. If I could tuck this behind my ear, yeah, you can isolate me, babe.
Fyodor, specifically.
Huh? Oh, it sounded like you said Theodore, which
Fyodor specifically.
If we say it fast, Fyodor. If you want to isolate me, anyway. But what was I gonna say?
Yeah. Why would he choose
someone where there's people going who are clearly aware children? They weren't just like kids there on like playing games, like, huh? Yeah, okay, yeah, we'll be at home, whatever.
Yeah.
Like, they're clearly very active. They clearly wanted you to have this date with her.
I hate saying that because it sounds like we're like, do it, be better.
But it doesn't.
Which obviously is not what we want.
But it's confusing because I'm like, it
doesn't make sense why he would do that.
It just is so funny. Like, why her? Like, why this? And like, is it because he has to?
I guess because they reached out to him.
Is that why?
And he's like, okay.
Like, he just put it to see whatever bites he could get.
That's true. He did. Is she the only one? That's true. Funny because everyone else was like, "This is a vampire."
It's not like he literally.
This is a literal.
You're right, he's not going to the grocery store.
True.
Which why not though? There's so much easier. Again, he could. The chances of him running into a single person
because he has to go out at night. He has to wait for people to come to him.
The grocery store.
Yeah. Why not go to the club?
Yeah, couldn't you also see someone like a single woman at the grocery store at night? Like, that's when they would be shopping.
This
like,
sounds
literally
so
us.
creepy.
I can't.
That is so creepy.
Anyway, Fyodor. Anyway, no, it's not the same. Okay. Yeah, let's not. But here's the thing. When he's having a hard time or not a fun time on this date, I'm like, you did this to yourself. Yeah. So basically,
you chose this.
Yeah, you chose this. So don't.
I mean, I want to know about. Well, I guess he's literally like supposed to be Dracula, so I'm like, right? I don't know.
Kind of from the bloodline.
Maybe not. Yeah, because I'm like, how long has he been alive?
So what's your story?
Exactly.
Well, were you human at one point?
Tell us what your life was.
We're obsessed with anything that used to be human, and we're like, well, now they're not. So I need to know how and what happened.
So tell me what happened.
What is Sukana's backstory?
Interview with the vampire, if you will.
Do you hear me?
Yes, Sukana's backstory.
TV's always like, when are we gonna learn? When will we learn?
Never, because the manga's about to end.
Anyway.
Gay.
When will we learn Fyodor's backstory? Just bring it up one more time. When will we learn any
We'll
backstories?
learn that soon. Probably in a month. Sukuna?
Yeah, I don't know about that.
anyways.
He was human once. Anyway.
Again, I saw that video that somebody made. I gotta find it. I saved it because somebody did like fan art of what they imagined his life would have been like if he was human once.
He was,
which
though.
He was, I guess.
Okay. Anyway, listen. Okay. So, what was Dimitri's story? We'll never know that for sure. What if they did a reunion?
I know.
What if they did a sequel?
That'd be so cute.
That would be. You know what's funny? You were talking about that earlier. We're just talking about their dynamic, how cute they are, like that family when they go into the grocery store. They're precious. I would love to have seen an extension past how it ended.
Again, every time we're like, give us more.
Go on, girl. Give us nothing. Give us more.
Give us something.
Ugh. But anyway, so they're riding rides. Dimitri's like, I hate my life. And then he does. He's like on there going like, please.
Can we leave now?
He starts like saying something. And then he kind of just like changes his dynamic and is like, so anyway, when we're together forever kind of talk. And she's like.
That's like when you were saying where she's like, oh, this was fun, but like.
Yeah, well, he
I don't think I'm ready to date and we're not the same.
Not quite creepy, but just kind of like, well, when we're together. And she's like, I mean, you think that we're actually compatible? She's like, I had fun, but like, I don't think we want the same things. Like, I had a great time though. I'm glad we got to do this. And he's just like.
So how are you going to say that on your first date?
I feel like.
When we're together.
I'm like, hello. Yeah, one, creepy, two, but also because of the vibes, if I were her, I would have waited to I know you can't really text.
Yeah.
Call him and be like, sorry, page him.
But he knows. See, it's hard too because then people would come over and it's like, you know where you live. You got to meet somewhere.
You see, why did he come pick her up? Please.
It used to be like chivalrous and now it's like.
Now I'm like, don't you dare. I'm not getting in your car. No. Bye.
No. I'm not getting in your car.
Even if
nowadays, there was a Barbie dream car there that he had. The Corvette. The red Corvette.
Even if like nowadays, if we're like doing online dating and we meet in public, even if I met someone at a store, I'm still just going to be like, we'll text, and then it's like, I'll meet you somewhere. I'm not going to,
She even said that, like we said, she's like, well, he's like, I know people. And she's like, well, you don't know me. Yeah. We just met. And like, that was like right when they sat down to eat. And he's like, okay.
But then he's astonished when he's having this confrontation with her at the fair where he's like, aren't you like, anyway, let's do it one. He's like, are you not in love with me? The
whole thing is because we forgot to mention. So obviously he has the power to put someone under a trance, right? But what Adam was saying was he was like, if he can get her to fall in love and come like because she loves him, like she'll be bonded to him for life.
So
he's like trying,
attempting, and also he's using
in one day.
But I guess he's using his kind of like Twitter, where it's like
Twitter,
Twilight.
I was like, what happens on Twitter?
Twitter-pated. It's all coming together, from Bambi. Twitter-pated.
No, Twitter-pated.
Whenever he's like springtime, whenever they find their mates. And he's like warning them.
That's what it's called?
He's like when the owl. Remember when he's like,
I used to movie in so long because it's so sad that I haven't seen it. But I used to
love that scene because he would the owl. They were like basically like, what's up with him? Because it's the three of them and they see someone who's in love, because it's springtime and they're animals, and they're like, what's up with him? Animals. Yeah, and the owl's like, they're Twitter-pated, and they're like, oh, this is your first spring being an adult, basically. And they're like, what? And he's like, he'll start, and he like the owl does something where he's like, first you get the chills. And he's like, then. You feel like and he's like, then you feel like you're and he does this part and I love it. He goes, you're walking on air. And he like walks through the air. You know how they animate it. And then he's like, then you start to lose your head. And then he like twirls his head like an owl. That and they go, oh no,
like an owl.
And then and then they're like, well, it's never happened to me. So and then literally meanwhile Flower is getting like seduced into the like flowers.
I know when he's like, why is everybody getting like
and then you see Thumper, the bunny, and then Bambi, Feline is like, hey boy, I get it. And then they're prancing around, and then Bruno is like,
I don't remember Twitter-pated, but man, I gotta watch that movie. Skip the beginning, and then watch the second one because I've never seen that one.
That's what I was supposed to say. That how in that that scene wherever him and Feline are like in love, and then Bruno, the other deer, like challenges Bambi, and they have like a little face off. You see Bruno in the little prequel one where they're kids again, and I'm like, honestly, put on Bambi too. Because I told you we need to have a watch party. It's so good.
I know you've been hyping it up, and I honestly, the way we feel about Little Mermaid too. I've seen like mock-up stuff of the live action version of that, of like people being like, what if this was it? And I'm
what
like,
if
Baby Melody
sequels. There's some Disney sequels that just hit, okay? And it's My Beautiful
they were all
Melody.
Okay,
there never has been, not ever before, a child was born of sea and shore.
They used to all be straight to DVD, but now they're in the theater.
That is true.
Did you ever think about that?
Can you imagine if we had gotten the sequels that we have on straight to DVD? Like, but they're like little like we said.
I guess
like
they didn't put as much.
The animation, like the budgets were definitely lower quality.
But now it's like.
But it was such a fun like.
Frozen 2.
Oh my god!
Can you imagine if we didn't grow up? If we didn't grow up now, I was gonna say if Frozen was like back when we were kids and they just they wouldn't have. Frozen
like,
2 is so great, and we wouldn't have seen it. Like, it wouldn't have been given what it deserved. Probably, maybe. But then, like, Little Mermaid 2.
It wouldn't look how it does either, though. But then again, those that had such big budget, like Toy Story 2 was around.
Yeah, but those are Pixar. And the Pixar sequels
Disney
are different.
animation like that didn't exist how it is, though. So it's so interesting.
Yeah, but Toy Story is like, how many do you want?
They're literally pumping them out. But like, another one? No.
We're like, after the last
already
one.
Said goodbye.
Did you? I keep forgetting.
I didn't finish the last one because
okay.
the third to me is like where it ended.
All right, we're gonna watch that, and we're gonna watch Bambi 2.
It's so good.
That's our double feature.
So good. Anyway,
Sorry.
Twitter pated. What was I trying to say?
That she's
Twilight,
Twitter-pated.
but I was actually saying that it's like Twilight, where everything about them appeals to somebody. So it's like Dimitri himself is already just this, like, he's like, I am a desirable, like, person.
Yeah, and if you yourself can fall in love with me without me putting a trance on you, even though I already have. Which also, he already has the qualities to, like,
is there a story there about a vampire who truly falls in love with a human? Literally, Twilight's like, hey.
Or like,
is there not any, not even just Twilight, is there any story, every single vampire story?
Louis and what's his
Anyway, let me read some fanfic. Anne Rice is like, no.
Lestat, hello. I almost forgot his name. I love him.
Anne Rice was like, don't write fanfic about Interview with the Vampire. And then when she passed away, this is so sad. But also, like, what's going on? Why? She, like, as soon as that was lifted, the oldest fan fictions around from whenever that, like, became available again. And he was like, there's one from, like, 1998.
Wow.
And isn't that
I want to read it.
I know.
I love.
Because it's just innocent. Like, they made no money off of it. But it was just a thing that she was like, I don't want that. And so, like, obviously, like, it lifted when she was gone. And so it's, like, so wild.
I want to see. I want to read them.
All of us are connected. See? Anyways, yeah. So
it wouldn't be an episode of this podcast if we didn't bring up fan fiction at least.
At least one time, the dinger, the little track marker. Listen, but yeah. So he's like, "Why aren't you falling in love with me?" And she's like, "Bro." Like, again, this is the part of the date where it's like, I mean, if she was surrounded by people and still putting a thing, like, I thought I would be safe there being like, okay, I'm going to leave now. You're freaking me out. But
nobody noticed.
He puts her in a trance. They notice at the same time, like Adam and Chelsea see, because Chelsea gets on like a Ferris wheel to get a better view. And she's like, hey.
But also Adam
he steals those walkie-talkies.
Yeah. He's like, go on. He knows so many things. Go on Channel 3 so we can have our own, like, our own station. And then it's interesting.
Now it's reminding me of turning to the right channel. We need to watch a VHS.
Channel 3.
So Channel 3. It is always Channel 3.
Nintendo, Channel 3.
You see.
But when he was like walking and she's like, Adam, like, what's happening? He's like, I think something's wrong. And I'm wondering why he felt that way. Like, he just had like a feeling of like something's wrong. Moment, and then that's when he's like, oh my God, I see them. And then, Dimitri sees Adam because he's like,
he just got that weird feeling of losing her or something.
Yeah, it's sad. He's like, I think something's wrong.
Anytime we're just like freaked out.
Yeah.
But then
Dimitri sees him and then he like speeds up behind him. He's like, hello, and just grabs him.
And Mom, meanwhile, is just standing over there still in a trance. Mom. And so they're like, and so he's like, yeah, and he's like isn't he like gonna bite him or he says something?
Not at that part, but he's like,
he gets creepy. What are you gonna do? He gets
like,
weird.
Yeah,
he just not get away.
And he's like, if you come after me, I'll kill you. Basically.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. And he's like, anyway, I'm taking your mom. Bye.
He's just like terrified at that point, or petrified. And then he's like, okay, Lynette, let's go.
So then they leave. This
is when Chelsea and Adam's sitting at a picnic table and he's like there. And
dejected.
She's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Chelsea's like, hello. And he's like, we've tried everything. And she's like, we haven't tried anything.
Literally, we've now found them.
She said all we've done is annoy him.
Yeah, stop. That was so true.
And he's like,
so real.
What are we supposed to do? And she's like, well, what would he do next? And she's like, he's basically like, take her back to his lair. And she's like, we know where he lives.
Yeah, they're like, we already know, like, it's the spook. And so they know, they remember, as opposed to how Taylor has to be like, well, because whenever Van Helsing is like, do you know? Yeah, he's like, well, and he like kind of is remembering what he said. But they're like, we know the manor. So they go there. They get there first because they're like stuck in the mud or something, aren't they?
Yeah.
We learned that like
Dimitri's getting his car towed out of the mud. He's like, I hate this.
I know. He literally is like, why am I in this town?
Happening?
I hate this city. I hate this town. It's so
I hate
funny.
This city.
He's like, I could have taken her and why didn't he just speed run with her? Like,
Yeah.
please. He could have done so much.
He's like, leave the car.
Yeah, like he's like, anyway, I did steal this. I need this, like whatever, or whatever. No, or bought it. I don't know what he did. Did he? He did buy it. Because the guy's like, oh yeah, he was here.
He's like, my best customer of the day.
So funny. And he's like, what if I told you he's a vampire? Anyway, but
right.
He's like, I knew something was up with that man.
Yeah, right.
It's so
he's
silly.
like, I loved him. Oh my god,
I knew it. And we're like, what? Van Helsing doesn't even have like a badge or anything. Like, he's just like, what if I told you? And he's like, oh my gosh, I believe you.
His footprints were on fire. Well, remember?
Yeah. But it's like this random man does like a magic trick, and you're like,
yeah,
yes,
I knew it.
But it's so funny.
It could be magic. I'm like, it's the proof is in the footprints.
They're fiery footprints. I can't. So they show up at. They go there. They get there before him because they're like, okay, this is it. Which it looks like a funeral home.
It's
and
probably
I know
filmed
it probably
in
is.
Like a funeral.
There's literally a coffin. I don't know. That's hello.
Yeah.
Hello.
That place is haunted. Yeah.
And so there's
it's like haunting a hill house.
That's the funeral home I was picturing.
Yeah,
haunting a hill house where like she runs that funeral home. That's what it reminded me of.
I love those shows. I know some people don't, but I do.
No, they're so good.
So good. I didn't see the last 2.
Of the last episode or the last season?
The last 2 seasons. You know how there was one that was like disconnected and then there was another one? I haven't seen those 2. There's 4.
The one that I saw, the third one wasn't connected.
Yeah, that one. And then there was another one, a 4th one.
That is connected?
No, I don't know if it's connected.
Oh, but it's just by the same creator.
Yeah, but I didn't see those
the first two are connected in the sense that they're anthologies. Like it's the same actors and stuff.
But the other actors,
and
those actors are also in the other ones.
Well, kind of, but not all of them. And also, they're not called Haunting of like those 2 are. Those 2, all of them.
But I feel like the 4th one might have been connected.
I've never heard of it.
I think that one is. Hold on, let me.
The third one is the one where it's a town and it's vampires.
There's the Midnight Mass, which is
that's the third one, and that's the vampire one.
And anyway. Maybe it was the Midnight Club that I was thinking. I thought there was another one. Whatever. Anyway.
What was it? Oh, they find this coffin in the center. And it's literally, they're like, well, there it is. And they're like, well, what do we do? And like, we need to get it out of here. Like, we need to
because another thing of he's like, they can't cross water.
Yeah. And then also if we can get it out here and it's sunlight, then he'll die or whatever. So because he needs to go in the coffin during the sun, I guess, right?
Yeah, because vampires can't be in the sun.
And so, like, at all, like, he can't even be inside. Like, he needs to be in the coffin.
Because it doesn't matter where he goes, there's going to be light leak, I guess.
Some type of sunlight.
Unless there's, like, a basement.
Right? Somewhere in a cold,
They're like, no.
Just shield
there's
yourself.
Light in there.
Yeah. It's like, hello? So he's like, let's go. They, like, roll this coffin onto the grounds, over into the water. They get it there in time. Like, he and Lynette show up. And she's, again, in her trance still. And he sees it, and he, like, has the most, like, no! Like, where did they go with it? He, like, walks down there. He sees that Adam's just, like, because he basically says, wait, they're here. And he's like, Chelsea, go hide. I'm going to take it. He, like, gets on the coffin into the water in the middle of the, like, lake-looking thing. And he's just, like, taunting him, like, hey, like, this yours? Or something like that. Like, I don't even know what he says.
He's like, well, I got your coffin, so you have to
give our mom back. Yeah. And he's like, I have a better idea. You give me my coffin. And then he like goes and literally finds Chelsea right
obviously.
there. Right there. And
he's gonna like, smell her.
Yeah. And he's like, and then I'll give you back I won't kill your sister. And he's like, you can't blah, blah, blah until morning. And he's like, okay, well, in the meantime.
Like, you can wait as long as you want out there, but I'm going to have her as a vampire princess.
Yeah, he's like, she's too young to marry. I'll make her a princess or something. I'm like, was this your plan? Like, what were you going to do? I don't even know. I don't even understand. And so he's like, I would do that.
And she gets a call from Peter. She's like, Peter, can I call you back?
And he like literally is like, and like destroys her phone.
I know.
And so that's when Adam's like, okay. And he like, right? He like brings it back over.
He's like, fine.
And then he basically lied, obviously.
Yeah, they go inside and he's like, it's okay. I lied too. Yeah. And he's like, what? And he's like, I'm gonna get your mom. I'm still gonna take your mom. I'm still gonna
do this. Or I was always gonna take. I'm gonna also kill your sister because I feel like the only deal was like I'll get you your sister. Mm-hmm. And he's like, so anyway, I'm not gonna let either of you live. Like I'm a vampire. Like what do you think? Yeah. And it's funny because we were saying at the same time that he's about to like bite. Or he's like putting them in their own like little trance where they're like, right? Is that already happening?
Like. He's basically like, what is wrong with everybody in here? I'm a vampire, and you guys are children, and because they keep like bad mouthing him.
Does I can't tell if Taylor and them show up yet.
Dimitri, Van Helsing and
Taylor burst
through, and he knocks out Van Helsing basically, and
and then Taylor's like, and everything's happening. He's like, what do y'all not get?
Like he's like, what? enough.
Yeah, like you said, I'm a vampire.
Grabs,
you are children. And then that's when we were like, listen, if he were really about to do something
he would have done
unspeakable, he would have already snapped Taylor's neck. Like, because Taylor went up to him and hit him with something and something else. And it's like, he would have snapped his neck, done all this other stuff and been like, well, I still have you two to torture. I'm just going to kill whoever gets like, it's so funny that they're just like, no. And it's like, if he were truly
because he's
evil.
also like, oh, great. You're going to pick on the smallest one here. Like Adam was saying that. And he's like, bro, why are you talking to me like that? Like,
he's like, you realize I'm literally a villain and evil.
I'm literally
But also, again, he could have already done
immortal.
So much worse.
Like,
Sir could have cleared the room already. Hello? But like, whatever. But they're like, anyway, he's like, I am a vampire. You're children. And they're like, anyway. So then they're put in this trance. It's like not really a trance. It's just like their feet and their bodies.
He's basically like pulling him towards.
They're both getting like summoned towards him. He gets Adam close to him, and again, I hate it because it's like so like the neck is like such like a intimate part that it's so like, creepy. And he's like when a guy is just or like an older man is doing that to a child, like hello. Creepy. So he's like about to like bite him, and then
this is when Van Helsing like gets up from somewhere because he has like he goes now or something, and then like Taylor opens the coffin.
That's
and he, like,
right.
He
hits
kicks
him so
in.
that he can be tripped into it, basically. Because wait a minute, it's when he's screaming for their mom. Duh. That's what happens. He like is basically going, Mom, Mom.
wake up,
and she's still
like
in the trance.
True love.
They're trying to do what that movie at the beginning did. So he's like, Mom, and he's like, oh, ha ha ha, and he's about to bite him, and then the mom does get woken up, and she's like, get off it. Like she says something empowering where it's like, don't touch my children or something.
I think she kicks him.
That's what I mean. She's the one who kicks, and then Van Helsing and Taylor help, and all of them help close the coffin. So then he's like, Nanette, and then it's like literally he's put
Van
in
Helsing
there.
takes his steel-plated
thing, staples it
shut. He's
nails. Yeah, and he's like, anyway, he's locked in there. They're like, and it's so cute because like I love every time whenever true love from a mother's love is the thing that breaks.
That
literally.
Or like in Frozen.
It's like that is Once Upon a Time. It's everything. It's like true love.
Doesn't always have to be romantic.
Dare I say, it's oftentimes the truest love. Yeah. It's just all types of love that are just pure and good. And it's true. It can be romantic. It's just
it's not always the case.
I love it. So yeah, that they get him in there and they're like literally like, oh my gosh, they're all kind of like, you woke up, and she's like, yeah. Like they're all
she's like, what happened?
Right. And they're saying something about, can we get like, first off, she's like, well, what happens to him? And I'm like, can we not have a scene of them at dinner talking about how I'm a vampire?
Yeah.
No.
They're like,
well, what happens to him? And he's like, oh, I'll take him back. Like Van Helsing says, we'll take care of him. Yeah. Like my family does this stuff. And we're like, what? And so they're like, okay. And then she's like, who are you? And he looks he looks the happiest he's ever looked. He looks like so happy to meet her.
This part is so cheesy because he goes, oh yeah, like, you know, my name's Van Helsing, whatever.
And he looks so happy.
Mitchell, I think.
Something like
or Michael Mitchell.
Michael Van Helsing or something. Yeah. And which I don't know, what's real Van Helsing's name?
Well, his name
there's probably a lot of Van
Malachi
Helsing.
Van Helsing.
Okay, that's right.
His name is Malachi Van Helsing, not Michael Mitchell. But I remember
Malachi, but I feel like there's a real Van Helsing.
The original.
That probably there's a lot of other different first names that they've been given, but it's Malachi. It's a cool name. And he's like so happy to talk to her, and then they're like, she's like, they realize it's morning. They've been out all night.
They're like,
she's
and then literally
what
they're
if we
like,
get breakfast?
Taylor's like, I'm hungry, and I'm like, this is so cheesy.
Can't. Like, what about isn't it waffles with chocolate chips?
And no, he goes. They're like, oh,
pancakes.
Do you want to come? Do you want to? He's like, sure, and he's like, okay, yeah, let's get pancakes. He's like, have you ever tried them with chocolate chips? Like, no one's ever had that ever. Actually, I think you just made it up. Like the way he says it. It's so cheesy that we're
goofy.
Like, and then they go like this.
I know.
Freeze frame, and that's the end. No, he goes, oh, it's a date. That's what he says. Yeah, it's a date. And then they laugh. Freeze frame.
I'm sorry. Have you ever tried them with chocolate chips?
Literally. The way.
No one has ever done that in the history.
You should be in the Guinness World.
You have got to do stand-up. No, that is literally
a genius. I can't.
You've literally invented chocolate chip pancakes.
As the inventor of chocolate chip pancakes, you need to be like in the Hall of Fame.
My father, the inventor of custard strudel.
Chocolate chip pancakes.
Chocolate chip pancakes. Lizzie McGuire's dad. I can't.
I was like,
and then literally, it's a date.
Up until now, I was down with everything.
It's like the ending. They like literally said we don't have
perfect level of like cheesiness.
They were like, we don't have the budget. We don't have the budget to do another scene.
And then all of a sudden, they were like, pull out every cheesy move
everything
that we
you could do. Cut it short. We don't have time to even discuss with the family anything. Like we don't even have a moment of her being like, I'm so sorry, kids, or
not like she kind of did.
Not that she ever is.
No,
it's never like they're having.
Sorry,
yeah, not
like,
sorry.
She still.
But
is
also,
like,
I feel like it'd be cute if she was like, "I'm sorry, I grounded you," or like, not sorry. I don't know what I would want. Like just them being like, "I love you guys so much." Just even something like that, you know.
She did, but still.
But I wanted more.
It ended.
You're
so
right.
quickly.
You're like, she did say I love you, but I wanted. I know she literally broke the curse. I wanted her to say I love you. Her love broke the curse.
Literally.
I can't. But
or their love.
True.
Both of them.
Both. And it's like. I guess I wanted a funny dinner or something to be like, let's talk about. I don't even know. It just ends
breakfast.
The breakfast of them with the pancakes being like so like even if it was just a scene of her going so vampires and it's like yeah stop that's how they would do it too. That's how Adam would do it. Yeah, Mom, let's not talk about that until after breakfast.
They should have gone and please never go on a date with a vampire again.
Literally,
you know how they always do that?
Yeah, they'll be like, Mom, can we make sure?
Us a promise?
Yeah, why don't you wait for your next date just a little bit?
They didn't even do that, which would be like more on the level of
how they talk to. Again, I could just see it doing the, Mom, don't worry about it. Like, stop.
Because he did that at the dinner table. He's like,
why does he literally is so precious. I love that boy.
It's so funny.
He's so sweet.
We're like,
so cute.
Yeah.
I can't.
Right.
I can't.
Sounds
right. Mom promises the next date it won't be a werewolf. She's like, no, it'll be a werewolf or something like.
Yeah.
We could have literally, with the way that like,
let us write the end.
We could literally write this end, and it's I could see it.
It's just the pattern of like every other type of movie like this, and we're like, we'll do it.
I can't. It's so funny.
And that's how it ends, and we're like, oh, listen, I love this movie.
Still a great
the
film.
Ending
abrupt, but listen,
something to
at
be
least
desired,
everything has been completed. Though we're like, well,
it's not like they were. We were
he's there alive in the coffin, kicking.
I wanted them to go home and see, like, kind of at the end of Hocus Pocus, where they were like getting out of the dance.
Oh yeah,
they should go home to Tiffany, and Tiffany's like, "What?"
I know. She's like, literally like, "You're not in your room asleep. I've been on the phone this whole time.
Yeah.
Like, I can't."
She's still on the phone. Oh hey, how was your day?
Yeah,
you know, because I feel like it would
Taylor's
be that thing where she
leaves, and then
she's like, oh, "Okay,"
and then literally, we don't even see that the mom knows that they tricked her. She doesn't even know that they were lying.
Yeah.
We don't even know that. Like, we don't even see it. It would have been them being like, "Mom, we're sorry," and she's like, "I don't know what you're talking about, but it doesn't matter," or something. Whatever, yeah, like. Even if they get home and she's like, why is there a babysitter? Yeah. No, don't worry about it, Mom. Like, it'd have been cute if they had been like, don't worry about it. We'll talk about that tomorrow after breakfast, like, or later.
He's like, you know what? Ground me.
Yeah.
Actually,
that would have been actually really cute if you'd been like, Mom, don't worry, I'm already grounded 2 weeks. Don't worry. Like, I've already done it for you. Don't worry. Like, that would have been so funny. They're like, no, it'd be funny.
Would have been,
wait, we're going to rewrite this whole thing.
Yeah.
Imagine if she walked in and she's like, what, guys? And they're just like, and they're like, grounded. Yeah, we got it. And she's like, yeah, thank you. Like, you know, like before she could even say it. It's like,
I just wanted to see Tiffany literally be like, okay, I hope your date was great. Bye.
Literally
not
stayed
knowing
up all
that,
night
like,
on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, where, did she even sleep? Did she leave? Is she freaking
She's
out?
She's like the
panicking?
babysitter in The Incredibles.
Hello, Stevie. I was gonna bring that up. I was literally gonna be like, you know who she's like? It's reminding me. Although that one cared actually about like.
She was more worried.
This one was literally
Tiffany's
like an on top. Of, that's why I didn't bring it up because I was like, well, I guess they're not alike, but you were on the same.
Where she's like, hello.
I
like,
literally like she literally. I could see it'd be funny if Tiffany turned into that the whole time still on the phone. I've been on the phone with everybody because it's been all night and like where did everyone go? Like she literally, I can't. Did she
but
just
she
leave?
Would definitely be unfazed. Like I could just see her be like, all right.
Which is why
glad you're back.
That is so funny.
You guys owe me. And then you just see the mom pay her and she's like, okay, bye. Doesn't question it.
Literally, she's like, for your trouble.
Doesn't know
she's
about
like, anyway,
anything.
bye.
Or she sees the Van Helsing guy come in and is like, oh, okay, I guess
she's like, I'm glad you know him. Like, please. But it's so funny. I was immediately thinking of her where she's like, but she was the one that's like, I have a blah, 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 blah. She's like, it's fine, blah, blah, blah. Like, whatever that, she had a name. I can't remember it. But then, it's not fine. It's fine.
I got it all under control. I don't.
It's not under control, miss. Like, I can't. What was her last name? Missy?
I know. I was about to say because obviously it wasn't incredible.
Yeah. What was her last name? We can't remember.
I can't remember.
Bob. Oh my gosh, I don't know.
Bob.
Violet.
Beauregard.
Dash. Literally, stop. That's funny. What are their names? Violet. She calls them by their full name too. She's like,
it's probably something that's like Smith.
Isn't it like not
Parr?
I literally. I was like, isn't it Park?
Helen Parr.
Yeah, and she's like Dashiell Parr or whatever. Dashnell Parr, or like Violet Parr. And then she's like, Mrs. Parr, I've got it. Blah 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 blah. What is her name though? Look up the babysitter.
Oh yeah. I'm like, anyway. I forget that Jason Lee is syndrome. Why did I think it was someone else?
I know, it doesn't sound like Jason Lee. I'm like,
did I ever
mean, it
know
kind of
that?
does. Oh.
Carrie.
She's like, Carrie. It's such a random name. But she's like, Carrie, that's okay. Carrie, what about it's so,
yeah,
like,
I feel like that doesn't sound right. I thought it was a different name.
But I think now
like Bridget.
Yeah, Bridget
she looks
would
like
sound
a Bridget.
right. But I think, and she's got her red hair and little braces.
Brace face.
Brace face. An
Maybe that's
allusion to the episode before.
To our past episode.
If we keep all this in, thank you. We're like, anyway, Carrie. It does sound right, I guess, now that I think about it. When she's like, Carrie. Like, she's like trying to be like, it's okay, like, whatever. Mm-hmm. I love it. Anyway, your blah, blah, blah came by, which again, it's the same thing. Another man coming in. Who? Carrie, what? Blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, I can't.
That's him.
Yeah,
that's
it's
her.
literally Liz McGuire's dad coming in. I
gotta go, but she's like, it's school night. That's what she said.
Oh my!
It's school night. It's a school night.
Honestly, she was more like, what the heck? And then Carrie's over there like, I'm about to die, so here's the baby. That's your cousin, I guess, right? I don't know. Like, I can't.
Again, she does say he's got to go to bed because I think it's a Friday.
That's what I mean. That at least Tiffany, you know what, too blasé about it all, but at least she was like, no,
you gotta go to bed.
I gotta go to bed. The way I'm telling you though.
Anyways, guys. That was the movie.
That was Mom's Got a Date with a Vampire.
What are your thoughts? No, just kidding. We've said all we need to say. We've said so many thoughts.
I love it.
I love it too.
It's so fun. It's what it is. Like, even though the ending's abrupt, it's like it's a Disney Channel original movie, and for that, it's literally.
I don't knock points off for that.
Yeah.
But I just would have liked to have seen like what happened there. Mm-hmm. You know, I love a good freeze frame, but sometimes I'm like, what? Okay.
It's so funny. I can't. It's so funny. I love it. But how are we gonna rate this? What if we
put every DCOM in the Hall of Fame?
Because that's our lives. Okay, that's our lives now that you're talking about. Or
do we say I feel like it has to go in the Hall of Fame though.
It's like it is iconic, but because of the like context, I'm making up stuff. Like it has to be Hall of Fame. Like subjectively, it's iconic.
Mm-hmm. We're not even putting. Usually, we list all of our. Yeah. If you've never seen our episodes before, we will literally go through all of our levels and all of our ratings.
Those aren't even on the radar now.
But off of completely different from that, separate from that, we have the Hall of Fame,
and that is okay. It's like
which is just an accolade by itself.
As iconic, but it's like honestly, we just have to put it in the Hall of Fame.
It's like winning an Oscar. Yeah, it's winning a.
This is our podcast, and we can do whatever we want. Yeah. And it's in the Hall of Fame as well.
What would we call our award?
Okay.
A reward?
The child mentioned a check.
No, I didn't.
No, I didn't. I know. We just call it a check. Here's your check for the Hall of Fame. Well, now, pending, we're going to have a good name. And it's going to be a good
Dust
one.
Bunny Award.
Okay, I know. I was thinking that, but I'm like, we got to think of a real good one.
But yeah. We'll think of an award.
But we're like,
it's going to be.
And what's that from? And Trust.
Big.
It's going to be a good one. It's going to be big.
It's going to be big.
Listen, once again, scary scale doesn't really apply. I mean, I was freaked out as a kid thinking like this could happen to like, again, I watched an episode of Scooby-Doo about vampires, had a bad dream that my dad turned into one, didn't remember me. That's my own personal thing. I got to work through.
I've had, like I said,
it's okay.
Nightmares about Jigglypuff being chopped up in a high-speed cart chase.
Now see, tell me more. She did tell me more.
I did.
But I just,
in a Target.
I know you got see. You see.
But yeah, we can have vampires. We can have nightmares about anything. It
can be scary, just depending on if something hits you wrong. What did you eat for dinner? You know,
garlic keeps them away.
Listen, but I mean, honestly, though, it's not. It's a fun movie. It's fun. Dimitri even makes it fun, even if it's spooky. Like it's fine. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
Again, if you're an adult, will not get freaked out by this. And I think that if you have a child, they wouldn't get freaked out by it.
It's that thing though too. Even when, like we said, even when he's like, "I'm a vampire, you're children," he doesn't do anything to hold that power. Except for move them. Like it's not like he's over there like hurting people.
He's almost gonna bite them.
Yeah, it's like, anyway,
unless they're like 4,
I'd be
maybe.
like,
They'll be
yeah. I mean, anyone can get
Yeah.
But the way vampire, what is it? Like, he doesn't do literally anything remotely threatening throughout the whole movie besides just words. Like, it's like
we didn't do anything except for annoy him.
I can't. We haven't done anything yet.
We've tried it all. It's
so
just like
funny. I love how he gives up so easily.
I know he doesn't seem like
it's
that.
So funny.
He just got so scared.
I think he did.
But then he's also like,
right
where we might die. But then also, why not call your dad?
I know, because he's so frightened by that moment. You're right. I think it just shakes him.
He's just like, we might die. Like, if we do this.
He just feels so helpless.
I know. Baby. He is just a kid in that moment.
Gary giggles.
Giggles.
Yeah, it's in our Hall of Fame. There's nothing you can do about that. So go watch it. You can do about it. It's a great time.
Go watch it, Disney Plus.
We'll watch it at Halloween again, okay? It's going to be good. It's going to be a good time.
It's going to be big. Yeah, that was that.
Mom's got a date with a vampire. Mom had a date with a vampire.
And it didn't go well.
Didn't go well. Don't call him back.
Not for either of them. Nobody died, though. And honestly,
body count?
That's all you can ask for on a
body
date,
count
you know?
0. Listen.
Honestly, but actually.
That is the bars on the floor.
Bars on the floor.
You see? Knock on wood. Anyway.
Anyway, guys, thanks for being here. Yeah. Well, we might do some more decoms.
Yeah.
Maybe.
We love a good decom, obviously.
Let us know. Yeah.
Clearly.
If you have, well, first of all, please give us a 5-star, thumbs up, or an upvote if you're watching us on YouTube. If you're not watching us on YouTube, then what are you doing?
What are you even doing? There's visuals.
Come watch us. Jinx. It's put in From Under the Bed podcast, and you will see us there. And yeah, if you have something that you want us to cover or talk about, you can email us at FromUnderTheBedPodcast@gmail.com, or go to our website, FromUnderTheBedPodcast.com. Follow us on Instagram. It's From Under the Bed. And our TikTok, From Under the Bed Pod. We also have a Twitter, FUTB Podcast. Yes. You could also DM us, email us, send us a contact on our website, send us a carrier pigeon.
We'll get it.
You know,
into the void, we'll catch it. Listen that.
Send us. Yeah, we're always shouting into the void. It's true. But if you're listening, shout back. In a good,
the void shouts back in a great way. Yeah, in a nice shout.
In a nice way, you know.
Nice shout.
But share with a friend.
Yay.
And yeah, it really, really helps. That's all I gotta say.
I love it.
We love it. We love you guys, Dust Bunnies.
Got a date with a vampire. Oh, yeah.
Mom's got a date
with him.
Wait, what is it? Mom's date with a vampire.
Oh, yeah. Mom's date with him. We love you guys.
Goodbye. And remember, always bring garlic just in case there's a vampire. And always wear a turtleneck so your neck is safe.
And Italian food?
Yeah.
Yum.
And always
love a good turtleneck.
Carry some silver just in case.
Supposedly.
A mock neck?
Yeah. Supposedly silver. But listen.
Sterling silver, maybe? I don't know.
But what if I want a vampire? Anyway.
Bye. As long as they're not an energy vampire.
An energy?
Those are the ones that suck out your energy. And you're like,
baby, I've already got my energy sucked out. What's happening?
Maybe there's one nearby. It's me.
Maybe they live in my place.
It's me.
Stop.
Anyway. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye.
Like he goes, bye-bye.
Bye-bye with my little canine tooth.
We said bye 7 times.
I know. But this canine tooth sticks, okay?